click Grainger.com or stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Call Quicken Loans now at 800-QUICKEN to see if you qualify for the government's Home Affordable Refinance Program, or HARP. And for 5 years in a row now, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer satisfaction. And for the second year in a row, they've also ranked us highest in mortgage servicing. Call 800-QUICKEN or visit QuickenLoans.com.
Visit jdpower.com for award information. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLSConsumerAccess.org. Number 3030.
Some professional con artists are coming clean. The story from CBS's Bill Whitney.
It's a scam. So said a former psychic to New York State's parole board. The New York Times says women convicted of ripping off gullible clients are confessing their evil ways in an attempt to win early release from prison. The woman who admitted being a scam artist took more than $159,000 from one client to chase an evil spirit. Another woman told the parole board she lied when she persuaded a client to give her $14,500 for a rock. She claimed it was a meteorite from NASA. Bill Whitney, CBS News.
In Moorhead, Kentucky, Rowan County Clerk Kim Davis closed her office today ahead of a planned protest rally. People upset that she's refusing to grant marriage licenses to gay couples, citing her religious objections under the First Amendment. Clerk Davis is asking the Supreme Court to step into the controversy. Gary Nunn, CBS News.
Mom, I can't do my math homework. I just don't get it. I'm no good at math. I hate math.
I've always considered myself a good mother, but when it came to my son Billy's math, I was at a loss. It wasn't that he didn't try, but he kept falling further behind and losing confidence. Then a friend told me about Math Made Easy DVDs. You can order any subject from arithmetic to fractions, percents, algebra, even calculus. Concepts are simplified in an entertaining way, so students enjoy learning at their own pace in the convenience of home. It's as easy as watching TV. Best of all, it's affordable for everyone. Listen, end the frustration. Call Math Made Easy. Call now for a 30-day risk-free trial. 866-598-MATH. Most students forget at least 50% of the year's schoolwork over the summer. And with Math Made Easy, your child will be prepared to excel in math this coming fall. Call now, 866-598-6284. Or visit us at mathmadeeasy.com.
Las Vegas is covered.
You ready?
News Radio 100.5 FM and 840 AM. KXNT.
The proceeding is a paid program from the advertiser. The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the show's participants and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of KXNT or CBS Radio.
Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah.
This is Real Estate Live with Dustin Duhart of Nova Home Loans. You can ask Dustin and his guests any real estate question. Call 733-KXNT. That's 733-5968. Real Estate Live is brought to you by Aaron Taylor, the real estate guy, Linear Title and Closing, and Nova Home Loans. Now, Real Estate Live with Dustin Duhart of Nova Home Loans on News Radio 100.5 KXNT.
All right, welcome to Real Estate Live here on News Radio 100.5 KXNT. I'm your host today, Dustin Duhart with Nova Home Loans. And I happen to be your go-to mortgage professional here in Las Vegas. As usual, I'm live in the studio with my co-host, my buddy, my friend, my captain, Dennis Schultz, the voice of reason, also from Nova Home Loans. Did I say that already? I'm sure I did. What's up, Dennis?
Represent, man. I'm doing well on this fine Saturday morning.
Dennis, we have a new co-host in the studio with us today because Aaron is out on the beach.
Aaron.
Soaking up the rays, the real estate guy.
He soaks them up so well.
We got his voice of reason, Mark Bowman, who's part owner of the company and broker of 048 Realty. Mark, thank you for being on the show.
You.
Thanks for filling in Aaron today. We appreciate that. Pow! Two voice of reasons. Bonita.
I'm gonna have to take A-Town's place today.
What am I? I'm the voice of I'm the voice of the people. Is what I'm the voice.
Yes, you are.
You're my hero.
All right, guys. You know how the drill is. We'd love to hear from you in the studio. You guys make the show. Comments, questions, concerns. You can reach us right now. It's 733-KXNT. That's 733-5968. And we're going to give away, as usual, a $50 gift card. Today, it's going to be at Home Depot. It's Home Depot. My stepmom's from England.
They have everything.
It's Depot, she says.
You going to the Home Depot, Dustin?
It's taco. So that's going to the best caller today. Bring something to us, bring it strong, and you might win $50 on us to Home Depot.
That's
I'm gonna say that
real.
the whole time. That is real. That's a $50 that that'll get you something, but
just tools if nothing else.
You ever go to Costco though, and you try to go in there for one thing, and you walk out with $700 worth of
Everything alcohol only.
Yeah, I'm king of that. So we also have some good special guests coming on later in the hours. Hour number 2, we're going to have an appraiser come on. We've been talking about this for a while. Listen, it's a weird market right now. And, sellers want to sell as much as they can. Buyers want to buy as low as they can. And you know what? Sometimes the comps just don't match up to the sales price. And we're seeing appraisals come in low. And we're going to ask them why, right?
Absolutely.
So,
yeah, it's a controlled growth.
Controlled chaos.
Controlled chaos.
Yeah, so he's going to be in, who is the appraiser? What's his name? I'm sorry, Dennis.
You got the paper in front of you.
Come on, Brett Stone from Primetime Appraisals.
Primetime.
I'm just kidding. I know who it was. Brett, that's a good name, though. Brett Stone.
He's got stones.
Yeah.
So is Primetime.
He's probably Canadian.
Dustin the Heart's a terrible name. Brett Stone. I mean,
I know a couple of Stones. They're Canadians. They're hilarious. Both of them, Matt and Greg, brothers.
Let's bring them on.
It's fantastic.
Aren't you excited?
Should we call them up right now?
Let's do.
And we're also, who else do we have? Manny Hernandez, in hour number 3. Believe it or not, this is a 3-hour real estate mortgage show. I know everybody's shaking their heads. So at 1 o'clock, we're going to have our director of credit services, Manny Hernandez. He is a credit expert.
That guy's awesome.
He is. He did a function for us yesterday. Some great real estate agents, Mark Bowman included, came out, had some good food, some good drinks. We listened to Manny talk about credit. He helps me do continuing education classes for real estate agents at the GLVAR. That's a 3-hour class. And I'm telling you, people, they can't stop asking him questions.
He's brilliant.
It's like getting a stock tip from Warren Buffett. So if you got any questions about credit, make sure to tune in.
The third hour.
Third hour. There you go. All right. 733-KXNT, 733-5968. Again, it's how you reach us in the studio. We'd love to hear from you. Or we do have people standing by right now waiting to take those calls and book those appointments. If you do want to work with Mark Bowman and Aaron and their team, you want to go buy a house, you want to go sell your house, short sell, whatever it is, or you want to get that mortgage tune-up done today. We're going to talk a little bit about refinances the first hour. Had some good success. A couple from the radio show this week I want to talk about.
Helping listeners.
So, you know what else we'll give away? Since
What's that, Big D?
We seem to get a lot of calls for it, is when you do your mortgage tune-up and you end up doing a refinance with us, right now, if you call in today, we're going to pay for your appraisal. How about that?
At the close of escrow.
420, was it 450? They raised it on us. 450. $450 coupon.
You know what I learned from Manny yesterday?
577-2600, 577-2600. What did you learn?
2600. That when a creditor or a mortgage company, anybody's pulling your credit, if a creditor who you have not paid finds out that you're trying to get credit again, they can reopen that case.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there is a way to get around that, and it's called optoutprescreen.com, and I'm sure Manny will cover that, but I found that to be very valuable.
Yeah, you kept asking me about it, and I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about, Mark.
Yeah, so he'll go into that and a lot of other things. We're going to dispel some myths on, if a couple mortgage companies pull your credit, is that going to ding your credit? Well, you're supposed to be able to shop around for a mortgage, right?
Right.
That's kind of counterintuitive.
What do you mean? I can't use my Credit Karma report to get qualified, Dustin?
He'll go over that, the difference between a consumer report and an actual mortgage report. And sometimes there's huge discrepancies in scores and what's reported on there. He'll go over what's kind of affecting our industry right now with trigger leads, because Equifax or Experian, I probably screwed it up. One of those
Experian
is selling data, and you guys aren't going to like this. Your data is being your security is being compromised from one of the credit bureaus. Not good. So what Mark was telling you is there's a way to opt out of all that crap. So
exactly,
and he's just going to go into what simple tips on how to keep a good credit score, and if you have a bad one, how to get that sucker.
Guy's awesome.
He is.
Awesome. We also in addition to Mr. Hernandez coming on, we're going to come up with the latest sales numbers with the how many units have sold so far this month, and are we going to hit last month's numbers? Right. So last month, I think we sold 3,681 units. So
that's pretty good, Mark. Right?
For our little market, that's good.
I mean, year over year, that's like a 20. I mean, I don't know the exact amount, but off the top of my head, that's
well. The important
15,
thing
20%
is
increase.
one of the important thing is the prices are going up, which for those of us who own homes are very happy to see. And
so we're going to go over that. We're going to, next couple of breaks, we're going to talk about how many units have sold, how many condos, and then of course that'll play right into the appraiser's hands, right?
Perfect.
Yep, and we're going to talk again. Let's talk right now before we cut to a break.
Okay.
About interest rates, what's going on with that, and some, couple people have walked in the office last week that was huge success for mortgage tune-ups. On Monday, Mark, I don't know if you saw the markets, but stock market took a little bit of a hit on Monday.
They did.
And normally that's really good.
A little bit of a hit.
Just a tad.
That was like a 1,500 point drawdown.
Well, it opened up. Well, yeah, back and forth. I mean, it was ridiculous. But at one point, I think the Dow was down about 1,200 points.
Yeah.
It ended up down 600, but I think it rebounded it all by the end of the week.
Yeah,
That's
it rebounded.
right. That's right.
So, I mean, it's kind of head scratching that we've been in a bull market for 5 years. Like, when are we going to pull back a little bit? And I thought maybe it would have been this week, but apparently not. So, the little bit of gains that we did get on Monday were erased, throughout later in the week. Not horrible, but, interest rates did go up slightly.
And why is that? Because people were taking money out of stocks and kind of moving stuff around.
When the equities market, the stock market is plummeting, well, what are you going to do with your money? You're going to go put it in the safe haven of bonds,
right?
The treasury markets.
And that's what we saw.
Nothing's guaranteed in life, but that's about as close as you
good
get,
as it gets,
right? And so when that yield goes down, well, interest rates go down. So when more money gets pumped into the bond market, that's good for interest rates. And all of a sudden, on Monday when that happened, well, all of a sudden everybody's buying again Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday in the equities, and they're taking the money back out. So,
so it's a vicious cycle.
Buy low, sell high.
Although people don't realize rates change daily and sometimes multiple times throughout the day. Like we had on Monday and Tuesday, at least 3 or 4 different, rate locks or repricing throughout the day. So I mean, it's as quick as that. Like, hey, let's lock this, and then I call you back. You call me a couple hours later, and that price isn't there anymore. I mean, that's not normal, but that does happen a lot.
What I did see on the consumer level economically is gas prices went down tremendously. I mean, at the pump, I get my gas at Costco. I mean,
finally, I mean, oil's like $5 a barrel right now.
That's
terrible. It's very low, but it doesn't seem like we're seeing that.
I'm hearing under $2 by the end of the year.
Yeah, it hasn't caught up over at Circle K yet, but it's going to.
Well, that's a good thing though, because that puts more money in our pockets, for spending or savings,
traveling,
or
buying homes,
buying property.
Yeah, not great for jobs though. I mean, when rigs are cutting people right and left, but if it's just supply and demand is all that is. China's buying less. Saudi Arabia is continuing to pump more, and there you go.
There you go.
All right, so one gentleman that did come in, he was from the radio show. He came in on Wednesday.
So you had a listener come into the office and visit with you?
Yep, Wednesday. Great guy. Sat down and had a 6.75% interest rate.
Okay,
believe it or not, I mean, he's had the house since 2006. Ran a comp on it. He's at about 85% loan to value. So
he waited the storm.
So, he has to take on a little bit of mortgage insurance, but not that, it's very, very minimal because he's getting into a 15-year loan, has a perfect credit score. So what we did is he's got right now 250 months of payments left, guys.
Okay.
So that's a little over 20 years, right?
Right.
We put him into a 15-year loan. And we actually lowered his payment slightly, a couple $100.
When does that?
But think about what I just did there. We went from 250 months to 180 months. 180 months.
And you said
So-
you saved him money?
So do this, and a little bit.
A little bit.
So do the math there. That's 70 payments of
How much was his payment?
Principal and interest. You figure it was a decent sized loan. You're figuring a couple grand, or about 2,500. I mean, he saved about $210,000 by
Nice.
because he came in the next day. We locked his interest rate. He's in processing, appraisals ordered. And then listen, they all aren't as good as that, but
Right.
when you can save $210,000 by doing the exact same thing that you're doing now and get a little reduction in your payment. Then I showed him if you take that extra couple $100 and just apply it towards the loan, you'll have it paid off in another couple years. I mean,
It's
unbelievable.
perfect for him because he's, going into his, golden years and no debt, when you're older is always a good thing. So
Absolutely.
good for him.
Yeah, we're hearing a lot about HARP. Do you guys participate in HARP?
We do. And I hear that a lot. A lot of people don't understand what HARP is. It's the Home Affordable Refinance Program. This guy was not eligible for it because if he was, we didn't have to have mortgage insurance or an appraisal. So it'd have been fantastic. But the how you qualify is your loan had to have been sold to one of the GSEs, Fannie or Freddie, prior to May 31st, 2009. If that's the case, you're basically
Qualify.
eligible for the Home Affordable Refinance Program.
So the 2009 year cutoff.
Yeah,
basically.
we looked up we looked it up on Fannie's website and Freddie's. He was not eligible, but it still made a ton of sense for him. But I'll hear a lot of people call me up. They did a loan a year or two, or they bought the house a couple of years ago. They get all these ads and they see all these stupid ads on
Commercials,
or on the internet or these on the radio.
What do you hear, Mark? What's your?
But they don't understand what HARP is, and they think it's some special program where
That's for everybody.
some magical genie is going to lower their payment $400.
So this was a strategic
strategery.
No, this was an event that happened in our economic environment, and then we had something passed in Congress to accommodate that group of people, right? So after 2009, we don't really have any HARP programs.
You're not eligible for HARP. So this was for the people that are upside down in Fannie and Freddie loans
during that time
that
period.
could not refinance, right? Because FHA and VA can do streamlined refinances, but everybody that had a conventional loan that was upside down, which let's face it, in Las Vegas was everybody,
right?
They couldn't refinance. So I've been doing this show for 4 years. The first year HARP wasn't out, and then it came out, but they didn't release it for about 6 months. I was doing a good 10 refinances of HARP a month just from the radio show for about a year.
That's huge.
And it's obviously dried up tremendously. I mean,
I haven't even seen a HARP in our office.
We get one every couple months now, if that, because everybody's, if they're eligible, they probably have already done it, right?
So what do you hear, Mark? I'm curious.
Just I see I see it. I hear it on the radio, see it on
the advertising.
Just the advertising, and I didn't know if everybody knew what it was or how you.
That must be HARP 5.0. No,
it's just one of the government programs under that Treasury umbrella, like HAMP and HALFA. So some of them have been a success, some not so much, and none of them have really helped anybody all that much. But anyways, let's cut to a break. Let's get some calls going in the studio, guys. $50 to Home Depot for the best caller today. It's 733-KXNT, 733-5968. Or if you want to reach us in the office, you want to work out that mortgage tune-up and get a free appraisal, or go buy a home, sell a home, whatever it is, guys, we'll help you out at 577-2600, 577-2600. We'll be back after this. You're listening to Real Estate Live.
Get into your new home faster with the help of Linear Title Las Vegas. Linear's innovative technology and superior customer service add value to every purchase, short sale, and REO transaction. From clearing title to coordinating closings, they streamline the closing process with their industry-leading cost savings, accuracy, and turnaround times. Learn more about how they can help you quickly get into your new home. Call them at 702-459-1057 to speak to one of their friendly associates, or visit their website at lineartitle.com. Linear Title and Closing, helping you make the right move since 2005.
If you're like millions of other Americans, you're wondering if now is the time to purchase a home or refinance the one you already own. You would love to take advantage of the low interest rates, but you know it's important to make a responsible decision, and that's where I can help. Hi, I'm Dustin DeHart with Nova Home Loans and host of Real Estate Live here on KXNT. I have the expertise in all the available loan programs to help you make the right decision. Take advantage of a free mortgage tune-up today if you're thinking about refinancing. Get into that 15-year loan, get rid of that mortgage insurance, or use some of your new equity to pay off debt that you're struggling with before interest rates go up for good. Even if you have less than perfect credit, my free credit services team at Nova Home Loans will assist you on getting your score up where it needs to be and possibly get you into a home today with no down payment. Make sure to tune in to Real Estate Live here on 100.5 KXNT every Saturday from 11 to 2 to keep up to date on everything you need to know about the Las Vegas real estate market. And call me today at 577-2600. That's 577-2600, or go to homeloansforvegas.com.
Okay, forest animals, today is a new day. Kids are coming to the forest, and it's up to us to make their visit a good one. Sparrow.
Yes?
Have you practiced the most popular bird songs for the year?
Of course.
Catchy. I like it. Okay, River.
Dude.
How's the temperature?
It's a refreshing 52 degrees, man. Perfect for a little riverside shoeless relaxation.
Ah, good. Owl, you here? Course. Who's asking? I am. Look, you know the drill. Sleep during the day, scare the kids at night. Perfect. I love my job. Oak Tree?
What's up?
Still in the same place I left you last year. That's what I like. Consistency.
Well, it's not like I'm going anywhere for the next couple hundred years.
I know. I love it. Turtle. Turtle.
He's not here yet, man.
He's late every morning. You'd think he would have learned by now to leave the night before our meetings. Okay. Squirrel. Has anybody seen Mr. Squirrel?
The forest has been preparing just for you. Visit a forest near you today. To learn more about cool things to do in the forest, visit discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Join us every Saturday evening at 6 p.m. for the New Money Sports and Entertainment Show with Kathy Cash. Hear from top athletes, singers, and more live from the sports and entertainment capital of the world. That's the New Money Sports and Entertainment Show, Saturdays at 6 p.m. here on CBS Radio 100.5 KXNT.
It's Jim Villanucci.
Hi, Jim. How are you?
Good, Velma. What's going on?
You know what? I commend you because you are a voice of reason. I mean, I may not agree with everything you say, but you'll let people know and you let them know the truth. I don't see how you do it.
Thanks, Velma.
Weekdays 3 to 6 on News Radio 100.5 KXNT. You're listening to Real Estate Live with Dustin DeHart of Nova Home Loans on News Radio 100.5 KXNT.
All right, welcome back to Real Estate Live here on News Radio 100.5 KXNT. Dustin DeHart here with Nova Home Loans, live in the studio with Dennis Schultz, also from Nova Home Loans. And there's his first beer. And Mark Bowman from 048 Real Estate.
Hello.
Hey now. All right, guys, we need some calls. We're getting shut out here. Home Depot, $50. Best caller. You might Home Depot. You might win the first call because law of averages say you're going to win because we haven't had a call yet.
The good, the bad, and the ugly. We want to hear from you guys.
Favorite line. I love it. 733. Is that your favorite movie? The Good, Bad, and Ugly? That was a good movie. Yeah. I could sit home and watch Clint Eastwood movies all day long, man. 733-5968, 733 KXNT, the good, the bad, the ugly. Or you can see us online.
That's right. Live.
What's the website, Little Poppy?
That one's going to be realestateLive.Vegas.
RealestateLive.Vegas. Pow! You know, Mark's back under the helm when we got the good sound effects. Glad to see you back, brother.
Thank you, sir.
That's me and Mark go OG Real Estate Live.
Very
right,
old
Mark?
OG.
We've seen it all, haven't we, Mark? All right, here comes some calls, Mark. Get busy, brother. 577, all three. Everybody hang tight. We got three in a row. 577-2600, 577-2600. That's how you reach us in the office for that free mortgage tune-up and free appraisal. Maybe I can save you $210,000. Guess what? You don't know unless you call.
That's 210,000 reasons to call.
4 people called all at the same time. Let's see. Look at Mark is getting put to work right now. All right, do you got the property of the week? You want to? No, we can't do that. Sorry about that. So other refinances, what else did we lock in? Dennis, did you work on one this week?
A non-owner refinance.
A non-owner. I did a non-owner. A guy pulled out $150,000 on a free and clear property.
I'm doing several non-owners, as a matter of fact, right now.
Oh, yeah? Several?
Like
2?
We're doing the macho combo.
Uh-huh.
And we have another radio listener. Actually, they're both radio listeners. did some cash out
The
refi.
Macho Combo is a good one. The guys,
That's a good one.
Save that guy.
Yeah, listen, the one loan officer told him, we can't help you. So he came to us. He needed money for a down payment to buy a primary residence. So we're doing a refinance on his home that he lives in, but we're going to call it an investment property when it closes.
Mhm.
He's going to pull out that money to purchase his new primary residence.
Simultaneously.
I like that.
So what's your loan to value on those?
75% for non-owner. Let's get some calls here. Hopefully I got this name right. Jeremiah, is that right?
Yes. Hi.
Jeremiah was a bullfrog. What's happening, brother?
Well, I'm a teacher in the district out here and relatively new, but I thought I had seen at one point where there was programs for teachers to help get them into houses, and I was trying to find out more about that.
Well, I know that Clark County, or what's your credit union? What's the teacher's credit union?
The Silver State Schools.
Okay, I think they were doing something. I don't know if they are any longer. So you'd have to call them. I'm getting an echo, Mark. There we go. So other than that, you can qualify for any first-time homebuyer down payment assistance program that we have. There was another Good Neighbor Next Door program with HUD, but honestly, it's BS because there's like 2 properties in Clark County eligible for it, and no one's going to live in those properties.
Those are targeted neighborhoods.
Yeah. So honestly, Jeremiah, not really. But what did you own a home now or no?
No, I'm renting.
You're renting. How long you been a teacher for?
It's my second year, so.
For how long?
It's my second year.
Second year, perfect. Do you have any money saved up at all?
Nope. Fresh faced out of college and battling my student loan.
Okay, that's okay. You're gonna need a little bit of money. We can get the down payment paid for you, but you're gonna need earnest money. You're gonna need money for an appraisal and inspection. So,
are you a veteran by chance?
No.
So you need to scrape up about
DPA.
$1,500, dude, and we can put you in the Home as Possible program.
Love
We'll
that
get you over to
program.
Mark Bowman. He'll make sure the seller pays all the closing costs.
There you go.
But we need to first sit down with you, bro, and we need to get an application on you, kind of go over all the programs that you're eligible for, see what you qualify for, see what kind of payment you want, and then we'll get this structured for you and get you over to 048 Realty, okay?
Okay, cool.
Here's what you do, man. 577-2600. Give a call to the office right now. They'll schedule an appointment for you to meet with Dennis or myself, and we'll get you over to Mark, okay?
Thank you.
Thanks,
You'll
brother.
be glad you did.
Keep listening. You are in the running to win $50 on us. Let's get Nigel on the phone. Nigel, welcome to Real Estate Live. What's happening?
Good morning. Hi, guys. Well, I rang you before, but not for a long time. I'm a very large property investor. I'm from London, but I go backwards and forwards here a lot. I have a home here. We have, without just to lay my cards on the table, we own over 200 homes in Vegas.
Wow.
And we own 15.
Dude, you got all the homes, Nigel. No wonder we have a shortage of
I know.
supply.
I tell you what, you need a lot of wires to clean them. And we have 1,500 homes in London. But the reason I'm ringing you is I'm fascinated by the people who are getting burnt in this city by trying to flip homes and don't know what they're doing, and they are getting burnt to a cinder. And I wonder why it is people are trying to buy homes here and trying to flip them, and there's no money left in them.
The margins are very thin in that
That's
category.
a great question, Nigel. Yeah, I don't think flipping right now is for the faint of heart. You know, you really have to get down to the auction, and you have to know what you're doing, and there's got to be a lot of meat on that bone left, and there's really not anymore, right?
Yeah,
I mean, the days of getting a short sale dollar on, pennies to the dollar, those days are gone. So, we still see a few flips. I did not cuss. It sounded like I did. A few flips here and there throughout the office. But I tell you, Nigel, like 2 or 3 years ago, almost every other deal was somebody trying to buy a flipped property because that's all that was out there.
Can you blame them though?
Yeah, you're right, man. There's this usual suspects that are still doing it, but anybody that doesn't know what they're doing and they're trying to get in to this market and flip a property, boy, you better be careful, man. Yep.
Yeah, my interest in Vegas is interesting. I still think that the property market here is still pretty stagnant. It hasn't grown a great deal. I mean, house building here is still not so great. It's still slow. I mean, my advice, and this is from a guy who buys and doesn't sell, we rent, is basically
Clearly.
for anyone who can afford it, buy it, but don't sell it. And I think that what's interesting for me is a huge amount of inventory still owned by Bank of America, which are not going to release. They own 60,000 homes apparently.
They don't have to. They got bailed out. They got that funny money.
Really?
Yeah, they got that funny money. That's why they're not letting go of them. I mean,
well, Nigel's right though. I mean, the true way to build wealth is like Nigel, to carry and hold and have rental income coming in forever. Really, I mean, and then he's hoping all his assets appreciate, which they will over time. Most people aren't as lucky as Nigel to have thousands of homes in London and Nevada, but I mean, just Nigel, an everyday
one at a time
to have his primary residence and 1 or 2 rental properties. You combine that with a decent 401k or whatever, retirement vehicle that you're in. And you know what? You could set yourself up pretty nicely at retirement age, right?
Yeah, the interesting thing that I find is this is a very good happening city, and it's a city that forever is changing its identity. Wherever you go, there's something new being put up. But I think what I find interesting is we have a saying in London. It's called location, location, location. In other words, zip code, zip code, zip code. And I think a lot of people, they'd sooner buy in a zip code which is not going to appreciate over a period of time instead of maybe waiting a little bit longer
to save up a little more money and buy a house that they can. Yeah, I agree. I couldn't agree anymore. Right. Yeah, absolutely.
And,
you obviously know what you're talking about.
Well, I hope my input was of interest. I didn't want to come across as being anyway as big-headed. I'm just we have a family business been going for sort of just over 40 years. I've been in it for 15 years, so I please don't think I'm coming across as being any a smart guy or a wise guy. I just want to throw some input into the mix because it's interesting. The amount of people who I've met recently saying, "Oh, I bought this. I tried to flip it. I lost $10,000 or $20,000." I think, well, why did you even bother? It's great.
Yeah. Nigel, when did you get into the Las Vegas market?
Well, I got into Las Vegas in 2005, and we bought a lot of homes. And in 2007, as you know, the bubble burst. So we were underwater with a great deal of those homes. But we bought another load of homes in 2009.
To counteract it. Yeah, good job.
When we sort of had an unrealistic compensation because the ones we've got are still in most cases are underwater, but the ones we bought in 2009 have appreciated. So it's really a false economy in one way because anybody would tell you, and you'll understand this, you cannot buy a home and hope it to budget and prop up the other home. Every home is a self-accounting bit of business, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
That's some good advice.
Good stuff, Nigel. When you're ready to sell all 200 of those, Mark Bowman wants to list them all at the same time.
And we will definitely refinance some of those that are have equity.
No, I don't want Nigel's tax returns are about 5 feet deep, so I don't think I want to take that on.
Yeah, I went gray overnight when I did my first one. Trust me.
We appreciate the call, man. Thanks for listening to our show, man.
Nigel.
Appreciate it.
That's a great show. Wish you guys well. Thanks so much for taking my call.
Thank you. All right, man. All right, let's cut to a break, guys. Let's get some more calls going. I know I missed a couple that tried to call in. You can reach us now at 733 KXNT. That's 733-5968. And again, the best caller today, $50 to Home Depot. Depot 577-2600 is how you reach us in the office. We'll be back after this. You're listening to Real Estate Live here on News Radio 100.5 KXNT. Home Depot.
If you need to sell your house,
talk to Aaron Taylor.
The most experience around.
Talk to Aaron Taylor.
You want to sell it fast and get the most cash. Talk to Aaron Taylor,
the real estate guy.
Talk to Aaron Taylor.
Call 310-MOVE.
Talk to Aaron Taylor.
Call 310-MOVE.
It takes a whole lot more than a fancy yard sign. If you want to sell your house, call the real estate guy. Talk to Aaron Taylor.
310-MOVE.
Not available in California, Louisiana, and Virginia.
Listeners, do you have startup capital and want to invest in a booming business with incredible profit and growth potential? The opportunity is now because Fresh Healthy Vending, the #1 healthy vending franchise in North America, is looking for a few business-savvy, healthy-minded people right here in the local area to be Fresh Healthy Vending franchise owners. We're growing so fast that we've had hundreds of new franchise owners in the last few years alone. Now you can join them. This area has a huge demand for fresh, healthy, organic snacks on the go, and that's exactly what you'll be selling with your Fresh Healthy Vending machine. machines. We've already identified prime high traffic locations that are perfect for healthy vending machines. Now we just need the right people to join our franchise network and help Fresh Healthy Vending continue to boom. If this sounds like you, go to readyforfresh.com today and enter code 1414. We'll send you a free owner information kit. As an added bonus to new franchise owners, we'll also pay half the franchise fees. Hurry, this offer is limited. Just go to readyforfresh.com and enter code 1414. That's readyforfresh.com, code 1414.
Arr! We be under attack. Man the long nine. Arr! Prepare to be boarded. Flagship starboard bow. What? No, not by the enemy flagship. By garbage. Ye beautiful ocean be full of it these days. Many of folk don't know that when they throw their trash on the ground, it eventually makes its way into the ocean. So lend us a hand by always recycling and disposing of your trash properly. And learn more what you can do to keep the ocean healthy at keepoceansclean.org. Brought to you by the Keep Oceans Clean Alliance and the Ad Council.
News Radio 100.5 FM and 840 AM KXNT. You're listening to Real Estate Live with Dustin Duhart of Nova Home Loans on News Radio 100.5 KXNT.
All right, welcome back to Real Estate Live here on News Radio 100.5 KXNT. I'm your host today, Dustin Duhart with Nova Home Loans, live in the studio with, of course, Dennis Schultz, also from Nova Home Loans, and filling in for Aaron today. My good buddy Mark Bowman from 048 Realty.
Hello.
Guys, here's the number in the studio. We do have some callers we're going to get to right now. 733-5968, 733-KXNT, or write this phone number down. This is the office line, 577-2600. Brian, what's happening? Welcome to Real Estate Live.
Hey, good morning, guys. Enjoy your show. I just flipped it on. The past few callers are
Thanks,
pretty entertaining. Thank you, guys. Calling to see you guys had any tips for short sales. My wife and I are looking to buy a short sale, need some work done to it, and we're just looking if we had some questions for the bank. So when they come back with their offer, if you guys have any tips.
Let's back up. So you're in contract to buy a short sale? Is that what you said?
Well, we made the offer, and the seller already approved it. We're just waiting for the bank.
Yeah, so that's not really the seller. no offense. The seller's really the bank. But yeah, you have to get the person that lives in the property, which is the seller, to agree to your offer. But yeah, it comes down to the agent that's handling the short sale. If it was Aaron Taylor and Mark Bowman, you're going to be fine. And some are experienced, some aren't. Be prepared for hopefully an easy transaction. You want a lot of communication, and you want your buyer's agent to try and get updates for you weekly, but be prepared to wait it out at least a few months. That's pretty much the norm. Sometimes it happens a little sooner, sometimes a little longer than that. But at the end of the day, buying a short sale, you can get a really good deal, but it is a little bit of a risk because there's no guarantee, right, Mark?
Yeah, you can. I remember when short sales first started back in, 5, 6, 7 years ago. Well, they didn't start then, but when it really started getting big, you could count on paying about 85% of market value.
Not so much anymore.
But
you can still get a little bit of better deal than just a normal equity listing. I think
you can. It's hit or miss.
I normally never have an appraisal issue on a short sale. I'll tell you that.
Right.
And if you do, the good thing is, Brian, the banks are realistic. They'll lower the price 99% of the time.
Yeah, sometimes you have to prove to them that it's not worth market value
because
based on condition.
Fannie was jacking up their prices
10% higher than everybody.
Right. It was ridiculous. I don't think they're doing that.
What was your purchase price, John? Or I'm sorry, Brian.
Well, we offered what they were asking for was $130.
What's the square footage?
1383.
What zip code?
So
that's
and it needs
decent.
a lot of work. Like I said, the original owners, they walked away over a year ago.
That's normal, man. That's if you go to you buying that house brand new, you're probably paying $200,000 for it. So
just take Nigel's advice and hold on to it and get $999 more.
Brian, good job. Are you getting financing? You're paying cash.
Well, we got a lot of cash. We just sold our house we bought 3 years ago, and we're putting some down, but we're going to finance a little bit of it.
Okay, cool. Well, once you get to the end, give us a call. We'd love to earn your business and give you a quote, see if we can beat whoever you're working with. And, throughout the, weeks, if you need some more advice, if it's not going as well as you thought, give us a call. Okay.
Hang in there, Brian.
All right, let's take another call here. John, what's happening? Welcome to Real Estate Live.
Hey guys.
Hey John.
Just a quick question, and hopefully, my parents are both retired now and live out of state. I'm thinking about building a casita.
Okay.
To see, but I don't know what the feasibility of that is as far as what does in this market, what is the ROI typically on a casita versus just building or buying a new.
John, backing up, are you on well and septic, or are you on public?
I'm in Summerlin.
Okay, so you have the public.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm on public utilities, and
I mean, probably not going to get every penny back, but that's
And
a
it depends on how you
desirable
finish it too. I mean, there's
square
gold
footage.
plated.
Some people will absolutely not want to buy your house because you have a casita, but you're going to attract a lot of people that are looking for that and might pay a little more just to get that house. But John, are you not sounding like you're selling anytime soon, right?
no, my main dilemma is: am I going to end up selling the place that I'm currently in and just buying
a house with
buying a house, or just buying a piece of property and building a house and a casita, or trying to find one somewhere that already has?
I would try to do the latter. And what I want you to do is stay tuned for the next hour. Brett Stone, a great appraiser in town, is going to be on air with us, and we'll ask him about casitas and how it affects values.
What kind of square footage
So
were you
just give it
looking
about
for?
20 more minutes.
My house itself is 1450. I've got a 10,000 square foot lot, and I was looking at about a 600 square foot casita.
All right, we'll ask him.
Mark, we can do that all day long, right?
Right.
So why don't we do this, John? We've got your phone number. We'll reach out to you next week. We'll have Mark Bowman send you some properties of what's out there. And if there's nothing out there, then shoot, you know what you need to do. Go build one. Okay.
Okay.
Sound good? All right, John, we'll give you a call next week. We appreciate the call. Okay.
All right. Y'all have a good day.
Thanks, John.
You too.
Let's get one more quick call before a break here. Steve, what's happening? Welcome to Real Estate Live.
Hey, thank you guys. I enjoy your show. Question, it's about rentals. I know you guys don't do much with rentals. Some real estate specialize in trying to find rentals. Here's the dilemma. 3 friends of mine, single women in their 40s, they have had enough of California. They want a peaceful, quiet place to live. They want to rent a house in Henderson, near the Pecos and Robindale area. Problem is their incomes combined is only like $2,600 a month, and the rent is probably $1,200. I have heard that property management companies now use a figure of 3-to-1 ratio. In other words, if you want to rent a house that's $1,200 a month, you have to make almost $3,600 a month. Is that correct?
That's fairly accurate. Now there can be compensating factors. If
they have good credit history, good stability, good landlord,
No pit bulls,
good rental history, that would be possible. And they're all have disability, so their checks are for life or income. They just want a quiet place to live, and nobody will bother them. I figured apartment renting for single women is not good, especially 3 of them. So if they can get a house, that would be nice. So they'll take all those factors into consideration, right, guys?
Absolutely. And if there's somebody maybe that could say co-sign for them, that may help as well.
I know there is a bias to renting to like 3 single people. They're going to think it's going to, and they're nothing like that. They want a peaceful place to live and just have a backyard and just.
Why don't we combine
Steve, have
them?
them call 577-2600. Mark Bowman and 048 Realty have a great property management. They'll help you out.
Or we can sell them a house too. We can put them all in the application. They can
do a macho combo.
Qualify for the Nevada bond home as possible.
Mark, one more call or cut to a break? One more call. Let's get Jennifer on the phone. What's happening, Jennifer? Welcome to Real Estate Live.
Hi, yes, good morning. I hope this isn't a stupid question since you're dealing with properties in Summerlin and everything, but I'm just on disability and don't have a large income, and I was looking at just renting a mobile home right now in a trailer park, and they have many to buy, and I was just wondering what your opinion is on. I know they don't build the value and the equity that a traditional home does, but do you consider that any more value buying versus renting? on a mobile home, and how hard is it to get a loan?
Well, the bottom line is it is difficult for a mobile home. It's got to be tied to the
Real
ground,
property.
real property.
Mhm.
It can't just be a lot. So at the end of the day, you're on disability. You've got a certain amount of income, and you know what? If you need to rent something like that, I say go for it.
Were you thinking of renting or buying it?
Well, buying.
Yeah.
Well,
I
I wanted to
still better
also-
than renting. I think a mobile home's better than renting.
I found out that the space fee, the space rent is going to be the same amount as what I'm renting for. That's I'm paying $600, and I realized that space rent, even after if I buy this, it's still going to be like $572 a month. So not a big difference. And would the Home Possible program?
I got to look to see if they'll do mobile homes. I'm not sure, Jennifer, but we do got to cut to a hard break. So I want you to call us in the office, and when we get out of here, we'll give you a call and see if we can help you out at 577-2600, 577-2600. All right, guys, we are going to cut to a break. When we get back, we're going to continue our discussion on the real estate market. Let's get some calls going, though. 733-KXNT. We'll be back after this. You're listening to Real Estate Live.
Get into your new home faster with the help of Linear Title Las Vegas. Linear's innovative technology and superior customer service add value to every purchase, short sale, and REO transaction. From clearing title to coordinating closings, they streamline the closing process with their industry-leading cost savings, accuracy, and turnaround times. Learn more about how they can help you quickly get into your new home. Call them at 702-459-1057 to speak to one of their friendly associates, or visit their website at lineartitle.com. Linear Title and Closing, helping you make the right move since 2005.
If you need to sell your house,
Talk to Aaron Taylor.
you want to sell it fast and get the most cash. Talk to Aaron Taylor.
The real estate guy.
The time to do a short sale is now. Aaron Taylor here, the real estate guy. Here are a few urgent reasons why you should short sell your home today. This may be the last year the banks are releasing you of the deficiency balance. Banks are getting tighter and tighter, starting to require sellers to contribute money. Also, it could be the last year to receive relocation money, up to $10,000. This may be the last year we guarantee cash back. And lastly, we provide the best attorneys in the state of Nevada, all at no cost to you. We have completed thousands of short sales with over 21 years of experience. Go to AaronTaylor, therealestateguy.com and check out our reviews. Call today, 702-310-6683. That's 702-310-MOVE, 702-310-6683. 048 Realty. Call for details.
Talk to Aaron Taylor.
The real estate guy.
Hey, Las Vegas, Jonathan Scott inviting you to tune in to Vegas Nonstop, Saturdays 5 p.m. and win show tickets, hear great restaurant deals and comedy. Vegas Nonstop, Saturdays 5 p.m. on KXNT 100.5 FM and 840 a.m. Eat well and party hard.
It's your place for news talk. News Radio 100.5 FM and 840 AM KXNT. You're listening to Real Estate Live with Dustin DeHart of Nova Home Loans on News Radio 100.5 KXNT.
All right, welcome back to Real Estate Live here at News Radio 100.5 KXNT. Dustin DeHart here with Nova Home Loans, live in the studio with Dennis Schultz, the voice of reason from Nova Home Loans, and filling in for Aaron, the real estate guy, Aaron Taylor, who is, where's he at, San Diego?
That's where he usually hangs. I think he's from there, actually, initially.
That's right. Well, who would move from San Diego to Vegas? Got to have a talk with him. Mark Bowman, broker, co-owner of 048 Realty, is in the house. Guys, we're taking your calls live in the studio at 733 KXNT 733-5968. Again, best caller, $50 to Home Depot. Had a lot of good calls.
Did I miss any while I was out?
No.
Okay.
So you guys were still in the running. We're going to give that away in the last hour. Well, you know what? Since Brett Stone's here right now, let's just get him on the air. Brett Stone from Primetime Appraisals.
Yes, sir.
Brett, thanks for being on the show. First of all, nice to meet you.
I appreciate it.
You know, we get a lot of calls about appraisals and people, lack of better words, bitching because the value didn't come in where they want. And boy,
no way.
And on my end, I can't tell you, we have some some funny stories with real estate agents, and it's all our fault because you brought it in low, bro.
Right.
It's your
Right.
fault, really.
You know, I never receive a call that says thanks for hitting that value.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks for coming in high, right?
Yeah, right.
So first off, tell me a little about how long you've been doing appraisals for, where are you from, a little bit about your company before we get into the shenanigans.
Okay,
all
no
right?
problem. I grew up on the West Coast, Northern Virginia, outside of DC.
Hey, me too.
Oh yeah, great.
There you go.
All right, East Coast. Moved out here in 2001. Had a friend that lived out here, asked me to come out. He was going to build a marketing business, so came out. And then September 11th happened a week after I moved out here.
Oh,
stuff.
So,
Yeah.
so anyways, I was working in the restaurant industry, then decided I wanted to get out of that and go into real estate appraising.
Which is not easy to get into.
No.
Maybe
No.
it was a little easier back then, and now it's almost impossible, right? I
Well,
mean,
it's tough.
crazy.
I mean, people probably don't realize it, but you have to apprentice or intern.
Like 2
I mean, you get
years,
paid
right?
for
Work
2
for
years.
somebody.
Yep, exactly. And one of the hardest things is finding someone to bring you on. And
Mm-hmm.
I was fortunate because at the time it was when everything was booming. I mean, the company I went on with was doing about 1,000 appraisals a month.
What are the likelihood of somebody bringing somebody on now? I mean, is it almost,
Well, with
you gotta
the
you gotta know
increased
'em?
regulations and restrictions, I mean,
yeah,
it's
good luck, right?
it's almost not worth it. I mean,
That's what's weird is how are we going to get an influx of good new appraisers like you in this market if no one's going to bring them on as apprentice? You know, it's kind of like loan officers who starts right now. You know, I mean, we've got some
So
good ones
difficult.
now, but you know,
Isn't the average age of a loan officer in the 50s?
yes,
Oh, I've heard that.
probably appraisers too.
But yeah, I mean, there was a lot of government regulation with all three of our types of industries:
Mm-hmm.
mortgages, appraisals, real estate. Some needed, some obviously, like anything with government intervention and regulations, little kind of head scratching. Some of it makes
Right.
you know, go what
Yes.
the heck. But at the end of the day, an appraisal is to protect, number one, the buyer, right?
Right.
And number two, it's to also to protect the bank. I mean, it's that collateral is the number one thing. They want to make sure they're, I always throw back to a person that cries about the value, but well, why do we need an appraisal? Wouldn't you want to make sure if you're lending $250,000 of your money that thing that you're lending it on is actually worth?
Yeah, you can get that money back
$250,000?
in the case you want to liquidate it. Yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean, and that's the interesting thing. It's a great point because you bring an appraisal in, you know, you don't bring it in low, you bring it in a value, which happens to be below what the purchase price is. And it's just, what did you want to overpay for the house?
Right.
I mean, it's
Right. And at the end of the day, right, it comes down to the comps have to support the sales price,
Right.
right? We know you have the best home on the block.
Yeah.
Everyone
However,
does.
and we know a buyer and a seller came to agreement, but Fannie Mae doesn't give a crap. They want to make sure that there are comps that support that value. Because
Right.
at some point you may have over improved your property for the neighborhood, right?
of course.
And
we
is
wanna
that
talk
what you're
about that.
seeing a lot? Is that why they're coming in low, or is it more, you know what, a listing agent saying, "Hey, I can get this, so why not?" And I'm shooting for the
Or is
moon.
it because of the short sales and the foreclosures that have sort of devalued the neighborhood?
Well,
Or is it
in our
because
office-
no, I'm just
Go
kidding.
ahead.
You don't have to answer that right now.
in,
actually. You can wait
in
till
our
next
office,
segment.
as far as the, we do our best not to use the short sales and the foreclosures in an appraisal because they're typically not
They're
represented.
not an
with
arm's
market
length
value.
transaction.
But at
Right.
some point that might be the only comp available. right?
Exactly. And now, I mean, especially in the beginning, banks were just taking whatever, but now they've gotten a little smarter and they're counter offering or realizing that values have increased since, the short sale process started. So they're closing at higher values, which are closer to market value, but still not necessarily representative. So as far as our office goes, we attempt not to use short sales unless that's all that's available.
Now, would you go outside the neighborhood if all that were in there were short sales or foreclosures, or would you still stay in that neighborhood?
Well,
By
the
neighborhood,
neighborhood's
you mean
yeah, I mean,
Yeah, say
it's at
something.
the end of the day, you got to stay. I mean, if there's comps available in that subdivision, I mean, going outside that's not a true comp, right? I mean, at some point, and it's got to
Well-
stay at least within a mile.
Right. Correct. I mean, it's technically that's the parameters is a mile radius. And there's a tool now on the MLS, I'm sure you know about, where you can draw the circle,
Mhm.
go out a mile
Sure.
radius. We use that often
Yeah.
to find comps. So we don't necessarily 100% of the time stay within the immediate subdivision.
Last week I had an
Hold
appraisal.
on, guys. I can't take. We actually got to cut to a hard break, so we're going to continue this discussion when we get back.
Many more questions.
Yeah, we got a lot of questions for you, Brett. I mean, I kind of threw that one at you. That's a 10-minute answer, so I apologize. All right, guys. So let's get some calls going. When we get back, if you do want to talk to a great appraiser, ask him some questions. Why did your property come in low? Well, here's your chance. 733-KXNT, 733-5968, or you can reach us in the office today at 577-2600. Get your mortgage tune-up done today. We're going to pay for that appraisal. Get out there with Mark Bowman if you want to go buy a house or list a property. 577-2600. We'll be back after this. You're listening to Real Estate Live.
If you need to sell your house,
Talk to Aaron
the
Taylor.
most experience around.
Talk to Aaron Taylor.
You want to sell it fast and get the most cash. Talk to Aaron Taylor.
The real estate guy.
Talk to Aaron Taylor.
Call 310-MOVE.
Talk to Aaron Taylor.
Call 310-MOVE.
It takes a whole lot more than a fancy yard sign. If you want to sell your house, call the real estate guy. Talk to Aaron Taylor.
310-MOVE.
You want a piece of me?
You want a piece of me?
You want a piece of me?
They're not movie tough guys, just ordinary people doing something extraordinary. They're all signed up on matchingdonors.com, willing to donate their kidney to anyone who needs it. In the U.S., 19 people die each day waiting for an organ transplant, most of them for kidneys. Matchingdonors.com improves those odds by finding living altruistic donors for patients desperately needing transplants. Go to matchingdonors.com and meet some extraordinary people. That's matchingdonors.com.
Broadcasting live from the Dollar Loan Center Auto Title Loan Studio. News Radio 100.5. KXNT AM and HD, North Las Vegas. KXNT FM and HD1, Henderson, a CBS radio station.
CBS News, I'm Gary Nunn. The name Katrina is now burnished into the memories of millions living along the Gulf coasts of Louisiana and Mississippi. Hurricane Katrina came calling with a vengeance 10 years ago today. CBS News correspondent Steve Futterman.
Throughout New Orleans, it was a day to remember.
Came with a force like none other, sweeping our city.
At the city's Katrina Memorial, there was a special wreath laying service. One of those attending was Sandra Hill.
The commitment to the city and the history and its legacy. That's why we're here.
Gregory Amond is the New Orleans Archbishop.
Katrina did not take away the spirit of New Orleans. She did not take away our perseverance, and she did not take away our faith.
Steve Futterman, CBS News, New Orleans.
Bells tolled this morning at churches throughout the region, a decade since Katrina killed more than 1,800 people, making more than 1 million homeless. A manhunt for a suspect in the ambush killing of a deputy sheriff in Texas continues in the Houston area. A man is being questioned as a person of interest, but not under arrest, not a suspect. Sheriff Ron Hickman appeals for help tracking down the shooter.
From video retrieved from the location, we know that other individuals drove up to the service station while this incident was going on. We asked them to come forth with information that will assist us in this investigation.
Harris County Deputy Darren Goforth was pumping gas last night when a man approached from behind and fired several shots, killing him. Erica, once a tropical storm, now losing its punch after battering Dominica, still moving toward Florida a day or so away. Florida Governor Rick Scott says there's still a threat of flooding in some areas.
If you look at history, these storms, we can still get a lot of rain. Tampa area in particular is still saturated, so we still have some risk.
All watches and warnings for coastal areas have been lifted. What remains is moving toward the west-northwest at about 22 miles an hour with sustained winds of 35 miles an hour. A county clerk in Rowan, Kentucky, continues to defy the law, denying marriage licenses to gay couples, now formally asking the Supreme Court to weigh in. Clerk Kim Davis says, according to her religion, gay marriage is wrong. She believes the First Amendment is on her side. CBS News senior legal analyst Andrew Cohen.
You can't have the Constitution apply in some counties in Kentucky and not other counties, and every day that clerk fails to issue those licenses is a day she is violating the Constitution and any oath she may have taken to uphold it. So I would be shocked if the U.S. Supreme Court doesn't quickly reject her claim.
Davis in Rowan closed her office today ahead of a planned protest rally. Play-by-play of University of Illinois football this season will include something new because of a surge of students from China. Chinese language broadcasts will be available online as well as through a mobile app. Included a basic explanation of the game, perhaps unfamiliar to many listeners. This is CBS News.
This is an announcement for all people who want to take a risk-free challenge to whiten their teeth in 5 minutes. By calling now, you can whiten your teeth in 5 minutes using clinically proven power swabs. This risk-free challenge is for people whose smile has been yellowed by coffee, tea, red wine, or smoking. The Power Swabs 5-minute challenge is available by responding to this advertisement. If lines are busy, try again. Because the Power Swabs 5-minute challenge is exclusive, it's not available in drugstores. Power Swabs was formulated by Dr. Martin Ginniger and whitens teeth with a patented tooth detergent and whitening agent. It's so effective, we challenge you to try it for 5 minutes to see how white your smile could be. Get it risk-free. Dial 1-800-204-1201. That's 1-800-204-1201. Transform your smile into a wow, you look great smile. Dial 1-800-204-1201. That's 1-800-204-1201.
They were brothers in crime who built an empire of mayhem and bloodshed throughout Britain in the 1950s and 60s. The Krays were the subjects of an exhibition which opened in London, prefaced to a movie. CBS's Larry Miller.
An exhibition dedicated to the feared Kray twins, Ronnie and Reggie, opened in London's East End, the mean streets where these notorious gangsters of post-war Britain built a crime empire. The Krays, convicted of murder in 1969, died in prison, but they're as mythical in Britain as Al Capone is in the U.S. The exhibition features the gangsters' suits and a replica of their mother's living room. The exhibition is linked to a new movie opening next month.
Me and my brother, we're going to rule London.
Larry Miller, CBS News, London.
At least 38 girls and young women have been killed in a truck crash while traveling to a traditional festival in Swaziland. 20 other people injured. The Swaziland Solidarity Network, a rights group, says the group was riding in the back of an open truck. Gary Nunn, CBS News.
Two powerful signals. One place for news and talk. News Radio 100.5 FM and 840 AM KXNT.
The proceeding is a paid program from the advertiser. The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the show's participants and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of KXNT or CBS Radio.
We still see a fuck. I did not cuss. It sounded like I did.
This is Real Estate Live with Dustin DeHart of Nova Home Loans. You can ask Dustin and his guests any real estate question. Call 733-KXNT. That's 733-5968. Real Estate Live is brought to you by Aaron Taylor, the real estate guy, Linear Title and Closing, and Nova Home Loans. Now, Real Estate Live with Dustin DeHart of Nova Home Loans on News Radio 100.5 KXNT.
Fuck. Oh, stop it, Mark. All right, welcome back to Real Estate Live. Oh, my God. Your host today, Dustin DeHart with Nova Home Loans, live in the studio with Dennis Schultz, also from Nova Home Loans. Mark Bowman, broker,
hello,
co-owner of 048 Realty, and Brett Stone, our appraiser today. Special guest from Primetime Appraisals. Nice name. First of all, good name, Brett Stone. That's solid, bro.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And and then you back that up with Primetime Appraisals. I like that, dude. All right, 733-KXNT if you want to reach us in the studio. Again, $50 to Home Depot we're giving away. Or 577-2600. I already got 2 callers for you, Brett. I want to talk about appraisals. Let's get them on. James, what's happening? Welcome to Real Estate Live.
Hey guys, I got a situation. We're doing the short sale buyback program, and I had an appraiser come in, and she hit us with a crazy number. And I think she was using comps of fully remodeled places, and ours is not. I mean, when she walked in, she's like, "You have a beautiful home." I was like, "I don't want your opinion. I want your facts." How do I combat that? Do I just have to get another appraisal from somebody that is reputable, or what do I do?
Well, before you answer, Brett, if you're using financing, you can't just go, "Oh, I want a mulligan," and order another appraisal with that mortgage company. Now, you could jump ship, go to another mortgage company, roll the dice, see if you get a better appraisal. But Brett, I mean, I don't know, fully remote. What's wrong with the house, James? Why would yours come in lower?
We're needing carpet, countertops, sinks, yada, 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 the whole, I have a guy that I used to work for that's a professional flipper, remodeler, and he hit me with like $11,000.
It just comes down to adjustments
on
at that
the
point.
rehab cost. But the thing is, I can't just jump ship and go someplace else because I'm dealing with Aquin, and they're trying to foreclose, and they sent their appraiser out, and I think she padded it a little bit, to be honest with
So
you.
it's coming higher than what you'd like. Is that what you're saying?
Way higher.
How often do
Way
you hear
higher.
that?
For a 1,300 square foot condominium in the 891.
So they need to do a reconsideration of value to get it lower. Like how many times do you see that
right,
one?
exactly. And I believe it's probably what you're going to have to do is, if you know for a fact that the homes that were used are superior to yours, and there wasn't a negative adjustment made to those comps that are superior, then your lender is going to have to, dispute that value. And
Yeah,
say,
your lender's going to have to say, hey, where's the adjustments at to bring this down a little bit?
and you're going to have to provide evidence.
So
that-
that's the only two options you have are get a reconsideration of value to get that thing down, or jump ship and go to another lender. James, I hate to be
Right,
the bearer of
okay.
bad news, man. So
So if I had, let's just say for giggles, I just for fun got another appraiser and brought him in. What's the average, output for somebody just to call an appraiser and say, come do this?
oh, Brett could do it. What, right? I mean, call him right now. What's your phone number, Brett?
you can call me at 702-203-4361.
So you want to just make sure to keep the honest, have him go out there and see what he comes up with?
That would be the best case
Yeah,
scenario.
get-
So I have some ammunition because, he sounds like he's been doing this for just a little while and he's got a reputation. So maybe his word would stand up against this.
Well, it might help with the
appraiser.
reconsideration of value. I mean, Brett might come in at the same price, but he might come in lower with the adjustments. Then your loan officer's got a little bit of ammo because he's not an appraiser. He doesn't know how to do adjustments. And now he can take apples to oranges and go, hey, I want to do a reconsideration of value. Here's this appraisal. Why didn't we get adjustments on it?
How much time do you have left with Aquin?
They're actually they just sent a notice of foreclosure now. We could probably, stretch it out a couple more months, but, it's getting to that point right now where it's almost not worth the fight anymore. But I'd like to at least keep these people honest,
I would also clear it with your lender to make sure if you did get another appraisal.
Well,
done, it was
that
even
appraisal is
worth your
not going to
time.
do anything for the financing,
Right,
but I think he
right.
just wants it for peace of mind. You
Right.
know? But James, give us a call in the office or call Brett directly. What's your phone number again, Brett? Sorry.
It's all right. 702-203-4361.
Perfect. All right, let's get another call in here. Karen, what's happening? Welcome to Real Estate Live.
Hi. Well, I actually would like your comments on something. We live in a 55 and older community, which of course involves a lot of elderly people. And there have been
By default, Karen.
Yeah. And just recently, within the last couple of weeks, there have been a few deaths up here. Well, see, when they get, I think that it's just my opinion, but a lot of times, since you're talking about appraisers and whatever, it seems like they should go a lot by circumstance as well as the value. You know what I'm saying?
No, I have no idea what you're saying. Do you, Brett? I don't know what that
Tainted
means.
property.
What?
What do you mean by that, Karen? I'm
Well,
confused.
I'm trying to say, just say somebody in their 80s just passed away and you live right beside them. Well, your house is in tip-top shape. The family of the person that died is usually out of town, and they just want to get the property sold at whatever they can get. And ours is worth top dollar. That's my opinion, and several
that
others
unfortunately
around
is
here.
real estate. I mean, that could be anywhere, any neighborhood. It doesn't
I
matter
know.
if some, it's an older community or anything. It's one neighbor keeps their house up, another neighbor doesn't. That's not just age community. That's the part of home ownership, unfortunately.
Well,
Karen.
and in addition, as an appraiser, when looking at the different sales in the community, you can usually tell if something was dumped just to be dumped. It sells
Right.
at a lower price than whatever everything else is selling at. So,
But then when
you
it
don't have to
does-
include that sale. You don't have to include every sale as an appraiser. You can,
You
as
can
an
pick
appraiser,
and
we can-
choose,
yeah.
but there might not be enough comps to pick and choose. That's
Right.
the problem,
Yeah.
Karen. All right.
Yeah, that's just what I was getting at, is if they did just go right around or, like a few streets or whatever, then it seems like it would lower the value of our home, which doesn't seem fair.
Are you trying to sell right now? Is that why you're concerned
No,
about
she's
the
just
value?
concerned about it. Probably, right, Karen?
No, but we may, in the near future.
When you want to sell, Karen, we want to help you out, and we'll get Brett Stone to do your appraisal. How about that?
Okay,
All
sounds
right?
good.
Thanks, Karen. 577-2600. Karen sounded a little bit like Marge Schott, the old Cincinnati Reds owner. Remember her? Sounded exactly like her. Let's get John on the phone. John, welcome to Real Estate Live. What's happening?
Hey, good morning. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. What's your question?
So we're preparing to sell in the near future, not tomorrow, but near future. And I'm
So
really
2 days from now?
I'm thinking 3 months. But
I'm just kidding.
But my concern, and I thought a lot about this. I'm grateful you have an appraiser on today because I would like to do a couple of things that might increase the value of my home.
Okay.
But I don't want to spend a lot of money. So I was kind of hoping maybe you could give me maybe 1, 2, or maybe even 3 of the top things that an appraiser looks at to increase the value of a home and maybe help it be more sellable.
Well, it's a great question. I don't know if it's going to affect more of the appraisal versus more on your end, Mark, where you're going to get more
Market
buyers
value.
to come to that. But I could be, so you guys answer that.
Good. You want to go first?
Well, I've seen time and time and time again that the properties that are in, let's call it move-in condition, doesn't require a lot of repairs. It's clean. They sell so much quicker and for a much higher price. That's been my experience.
Yeah, the bottom
over and
line
over.
is first impressions go a long way. When you
Right.
pull up to that property and that paint's pristine, the grass is mowed, it's green, you've got some color popping, and you know the door's clean. Simple things like that's going to help your home sell more. Now, that's not necessarily going to make it appraise more,
Right.
but
that just
you
attracts more buyers.
yeah, but you know, if you were maybe $5,000 less than a comp before, if you start to do simple things like that,
Or somebody will ask
he
me-
could maybe bring it in where it should be, right?
Right. Well, I mean, typically the first thing is kitchens and bathrooms, which is just a typical real estate rule. I mean, if you want to do things to improve those, you know, one thing with appraising though, it's
you ain't gonna get dollar for dollar either,
right.
right?
You're not going to get dollar for dollar, and different neighborhoods,
That's a
different
good
different
point. Right,
improvements
right.
have different effects on value in different neighborhoods. So just because you put these improvements into your home doesn't necessarily mean it's going to affect your value in a way you may anticipate it to. However,
upgrades is an adjustments that's tough for you to do at times, right?
Right.
You know, I mean, because how do you quantify which ones are enough upgrades to make it superior than the other house? And that's, you know, that's where it gets a little tricky for John. So John's more, you know, questions more for Mark Bowman. Realistically, it's let's clean that house up. Let's do a
Right.
few things. When you go to sell it, Mark and Aaron will come to your property. You guys are great at going, hey, you do a simple few things like this,
Exactly.
and we can sell it for a little more money. Now, however, that might not at the end of the day, that might not transgress over to Brett in getting the appraisal done. So, and that's kind of that's the quandary we're having right now in this market.
Right. And
you
depending
know?
on what it is, I mean, new carpet, paint, typically that's huge, you know, and always keep your kitchen and bathrooms clean.
Yeah, throw a couple koi ponds in there, John, you'll be fine.
Some
All
olive
right?
trees.
Some olive trees. John, so when you're ready to sell, you know, I know we didn't give you a very clear-cut answer. We need to have a great real estate agent like Mark Bowman or Aaron Taylor come down to your property, really go over what you should do, if anything, spending money-wise to get a little more value and to get some more buyers in there. Okay?
Cool.
Thanks, John. Give us a call when you're ready to buy.
So-
577-2600. 577-2600. Sorry, I was going to cut. What were you going to
So I was just going to ask, like, kitchens and bathrooms. So are you saying they need to be functional or they need to be updated? I know it's case by case.
right.
Right.
Well, yeah,
best
a
I could
kitchen
say
with
is-
Formica cabinets or countertops versus nice granite. I mean,
Versus
that's,
yeah, right.
that's a huge deal, right?
Exactly. Granite, you know, tile flooring versus vinyl. You know, stainless appliances
Versus the black, white
versus
ones, all
black,
that
white
stuff,
ones. Yeah.
right? And that's just real estate 101, right?
Right.
But from an appraiser standpoint, does that add value?
Well, if I'm comparing it to a house that has vinyl and you know, tile countertops instead of granite, things like that, then I will
give
that
Value.
comparable value. I will
Okay.
add value to it.
What about like baseboards and stuff like that? I mean, the fancy trim and stuff. Is that something that's like unless it's granite, of course? I mean,
What about
is
a
that-
ceiling fan?
How about
Yeah.
paint?
What if they had windows, Brett?
What
about olive trees?
Yeah, we had a
olive trees.
disaster last week. Well,
Yeah.
thankfully, it wasn't one of my files, but it was one officer in our in our office, and appraisal came in. I think it was like 30 grand low,
50,000,
whatever. And the listing agent on there was a complete knucklehead, and for lack of better words, a douche, and freaked out. Can I say that, Mark? And blamed us for it, this and that, and how could you give no value to the brand new olive trees they put in there? So stuff that, listen, I mean, last time I checked, there wasn't an adjustment for an olive tree.
Right.
But if a house is well landscaped versus a house that's not, I mean, that could be an adjustment, right?
Correct.
So, I mean, and again, the point, guys, is everybody's situation is different.
Right.
Everybody's zip code has to be taken into an account. If you've over improved, you're not going to get all that money back.
Right.
But if you have a very nice house, well, it should appraise for top dollar.
Right.
And at the end of the day, when a buyer and a seller come to an agreement, right? I know you are a good appraiser. You're trying your best to make that work, right? Because that really should be the appraised value. However, we still have to have the comps that support it, right?
Right. And that's any appraiser. I mean, I don't.
I'll disagree. There are some out there that no, I'm just kidding.
I'm not aware of an appraiser that goes out.
There's a couple old VA guys that love to come in low just to come in low.
Yeah, the
Thankfully,
VA is a different
I
story.
haven't got an order from them in a long time. However, we do see it. They stand on the soapbox and, well, I'm protecting my vet. Well, how are you protecting the vet? He's not going to get the house now. You knucklehead.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you do your best to make the deal work. If the number's not there, it's not there. I mean, the appraiser's not trying to screw you out of your house.
I'm doing a refinance right now, and a friend of mine, a real estate agent, gave it to me, and it's the guy. This guy makes so much money, and he, it's one of those guys you can't talk to him. You got to talk to the secretary or whatever. And on the app, they put in the houses because it's free and clear. They want to pull out about 500 grand, and they said on the app 2.9 million. I'm like, that must be a nice house. So I went on Zillow, and take Zillow for what it's worth.
Right.
But Zillow disagrees. Zillow says 700,000.
Okay.
And so that's a little bit of a discrepancy there. And I'm not going to say the zip code, but I know the zip code he's in is not selling for 450 a square foot, not even close. And the real estate agent, good friend of mine, he's kind of in and out of the business. He's like, man, this house is awesome. It's got a shooting range and this and that. Well, dude, you can't, that's not going to make the value go up, right? I mean, that's crazy improvements that actually might distract a buyer from buying that house.
True.
And I don't think you're going to get 2.9 million of all the stuff that he told me from 700,000. So you know what? We ordered the appraisal. We'll see what it comes back with, and and we'll see who was right. But if it comes in over $1 million, I'd be completely shocked.
Yeah, we had a caller earlier that was asking about the value of a casita, how that.
You know what? We got to cut to a break first, Brett. So let's talk about that when we get back from the break. If you do want to reach us to the studio, I've got some callers. We'll get to you when we get back. It's 733 KXNT 733-5968, or you can reach us in the office today. 577-2600. We'll be back after this. You listen to Real Estate Live.
Want to watch the current season of NCIS or past seasons of The Good Wife? With CBS All Access, you can watch these and other CBS shows live or on demand on your computer, tablet, or smartphone. Go to cbs.com/access now for your free trial.
If you need to sell your house,
talk to Aaron Taylor.
The most experience around.
Talk to Aaron Taylor.
You want to sell it fast and get the most cash. Talk to Aaron Taylor,
the real estate guy.
Talk to Aaron Taylor.
Call 310-MOVE.
Talk to Aaron Taylor.
Call 310-MOVE.
It takes a whole lot more than a fancy yard sign. If you want to sell your house, call the real estate guy. Talk to Aaron Taylor.
310-MOVE.
Aaron Taylor here, the real estate guy. We have the very best marketing strategy to sell your home, always getting you the highest price possible. We use TV, radio, virtual tours, social media, MLS, open houses, Realtor.com, Zillow, TruliaHomes.com, wow, and so much more. Expert negotiator since 1994 with over 4,000 homes sold. And we love helping buyers acquire their dream home. Go to AaronTaylorTheRealEstateGuy.com to see a review.
Talk to Aaron Taylor.
310-MOVE.
Get into your new home faster with the help of Linear Title Las Vegas. Linear's innovative technology and superior customer service add value to every purchase, short sale, and REO transaction. From clearing title to coordinating closings, they streamline the closing process with their industry-leading cost savings, accuracy, and turnaround times. Learn more about how they can help you quickly get into your new home. Call them at 702-459-1057 to speak to one of their friendly associates, or visit their website at lineartitle.com. Linear Title and Closing, helping you make the right move since 2005.
There are a ton of social networking websites, but one stands apart for a very special reason. This one saves lives. It's matchingdonors.com. Matchingdonors.com links organ donors with people in need of kidney and other transplants. In the U.S., 19 people die each day waiting for an organ transplant, most of them for kidneys. If you've ever considered becoming a living organ donor, or if you have someone in need of an organ transplant, visit matchingdonors.com. Home of the greatest gift of all, the gift of life. Matchingdonors.com.
It's Jim Villanucci.
Here are the two beliefs that I have that make people very angry. I support GMO foods, and I support the NSA. Yeah. And I joined ISIS.
Weekdays 3 to 6 on News Radio 100.5 KXNT.
Home Depot.
You're listening to Real Estate Live with Dustin DeHart of Nova Home Loans on News Radio 100.5 KXNT.
All right, welcome back to Real Estate Live here on News Radio 100.5 KXNT. Dustin DeHart here with Nova Home Loans, live in the studio with Dennis Schultz from Nova Home Loans.
Getting funky.
Co-host. And filling in for Aaron, our good buddy Mark Bowman from 048 Realty, and our special guest today, Brett Stone from Prime Time Appraisals. Guys, you want to reach us in the studio, here's the phone number, 733-KXNT. There you go, Mark. 733-5968. Or in the office. A lot of people calling in the office today. We've already got a bunch of appointments booked. 577-2600, 577-2600. Dave, what's happening? Welcome to Real Estate Live.
Dave, you're on.
Hey now. All right. Dave, you there? 1, 2. Yeah. Oh, there he is. Dave, what's happening? You're live on the radio.
Hey now.
Let's see how long we can do this. This is like I like to make fun of the first phone call. Like, this is how Alexander Graham Bell, whoever he called. This is probably the conversation that happened, right?
Dave, we're talking about you right now.
Dave, are you there?
You're asking for a Dave or a James?
James, whoever you
You're
are,
on
you're
live.
there. I got the. Hey now, what's happening, brother? Sorry, bro.
I was wondering who Dave was.
Who the heck is Dave? Dave's not here, man. Remember the Cheech and Chong movie?
Get to age yourself. Anyway, hey, two-part question here, actually. One, I'm divorced. I got a house that the judge said sell it. It was supposed to be sold October 2014. The ex says, I'm not selling it, I'm renting it, and continues to rent it. So that's back in litigation. Problem is, I want to buy something, but my debt ratio is at 90% with that mortgage on there. So two-part question. One, on the mortgage, is there anybody who would, that I got a shot of getting a loan with? And two, can you list a house without having both owners sign that, hey, we want to sell this house?
Well, I'll take question number one, and we can answer question number two pretty easy. So the divorce decree, did it deed over the mortgage and the property to her?
No, the divorce decree said at the end of the lease, which was October 2014.
So once it's sold, then you guys are both absolved. So yeah. So unfortunately, you're on the hook for that sucker until that thing's sold.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, there's no mortgage company that's going to get around that. So yeah, as far as selling a property without both people signing off, that's not going to happen.
Not without a judge insisting on it.
Yeah, you got to get back to court and put her in line. All right.
There you go. All right.
Bud. Thanks for the
Tell
call.
Dave
bro.
I said hello.
All right, Dave.
Tell Dave
Thanks,
I said
James.
hello. Bye-bye.
All right. So, Brett, what else? So we were talking a little bit about pools. People can spend up to $100,000 on a pool pretty easily nowadays, you know. But typically, in a $400,000 house, come appraisal time, they're not going to get that much back, right? I mean, I've always thought it's about 20, 25 grand is kind of the wheelhouse for a pool. I mean, 100
In that purchase
100 grand
price.
seems a little high, but a $60,000 pool, you're probably getting about that back.
Typically.
Is that right?
Typically, yes.
So if I buy a $50,000 house and I put a $60,000 pool, I'll get
absolutely, bro.
Absolutely, without a doubt.
No, it better be indoors.
50% of the value of your home will be
So-
the pool. Yes.
And we got another call about a casita, and let's talk about that. First of all, do you get more square feet for a casita? Because this is something that I've had happen, and I've had a few different answers. So I've heard no, but I have heard you can get value because it's increased the
attached.
property value. Is that so? Explain it.
It's kind of complicated, but I'll do my best. If it is attached to the house, then
That's not really.
But attached could even mean a
That
2x4 that attaches the roofs, right? I mean, it's not an elaborate attachment, correct?
well, or attached where the only way you can access it is
through the home.
by exiting the home and going outside
Separate
and then
entry.
going in. Yeah, a separate entry. And it just sometimes the Clark County assessor record has it included in the square footage, and sometimes
So
they
maybe
don't.
that's because it was built with the casita, right? And maybe when it wasn't built with a casita, but they added it to it, and maybe they didn't have that recorded. That's the only thing I can think of.
I mean, that could be.
Who
Yes, it could be.
Here's the point: I'll never get a casita, right? No, I'm just
I love that. I love casitas. It's a stabbing cabin. No.
Whoa.
So let's talk about the adding square footage. Is that we talked about renovating the kitchen and having nice upgrades and whatnot, and then we talked about the pool. What about adding another room? Just say it's not a casita. Let's just say it's another bedroom. Is
So-
that something that will
Typically, I
bring
mean,
a-
if you look
Square
at it,
feet's
it's
the number
gonna
one thing,
Yeah,
right?
it's going to make the house bigger, and typically bigger houses sell for more than smaller houses. So you will get more value if you increase the size of your home.
Here's one I get a lot. You'll get a chuckle out of this. And I get this from good real estate agents that have been in the business a long time. So they'll get a buyer and they go, can't we go conventional instead of FHA? Because, if they go FHA, the appraisal is going to come in low, which is completely silly. So that's a ridiculous statement. If a buyer is going FHA or conventional or VA, right? If you're
Correct.
doing the appraisal,
The value is the value.
it's
Exactly.
not determined by loan product.
Oh, of
Is
course.
that right?
Right, for sure.
Okay, so check that down. We got that dispelled now. Now there are certain repairs, right, through loan products that
Correct.
could come up through the course of the inspection and on the report. However, at the end of the day, Brett, I mean, all three loan products, have about the same amount of repairs. FHA and VA can be a little more tighter than conventional.
No doubt.
But I mean, because I'll get calls like, well, can we go conventional if there's no kitchen? No, you have, if it's piped and plumbed into the ground, it has to be there, right?
Right.
If there's windows in there, they have to be there. The roof has to be solid. There has to be sound flooring, right?
Correct.
I mean, and you can't get away from this for different products, right? And
Right.
you're going to flag this no matter what, right? So people need to understand if this house is gutted and you want financing, well, you better look at some type of rehab renovation loan, right?
Right.
You
Well,
know.
I mean, of course. I mean, you take that idea and apply it to a car, and you go,
Good point.
if there's no seats or a radio or anything in the car, then who's going to finance you?
Mm-hmm.
There's no value.
No value.
The dirty little secret,
There's no
though, that
collateral.
nobody talks about is if these sellers and these listing agents are so confident on that value, why are they accepting contracts that have an appraisal contingency in it? Right.
Right.
So if they're, and that's kind of my point. We don't really talk about that much, but I mean, because we've lost contracts this month where, the seller, because they bought it a while ago, they felt that it was worth 140. And, come hell or high water, they knew it's going to come in at 140 and they don't care about the appraisal. So, I mean, that's something that people don't think about. Like that's a technique that buyer's agents use, right? I mean, hey, we're going to I know they want 140, but we still got the appraisal contingency in there. I mean, that's a conversation.
So it's a
that
gamble. They're
every
hoping that the seller
single
comes down,
agents
but not
have.
they won't always come down. So it's a
Right.
risk, But at some point, as Dennis is saying, that's the only way you're going to get your offer accepted.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, and then you've wasted money on an appraisal inspection, but you went for it, But more often than not, even when it comes in low, usually the parties can come to some type of an agreement.
Right.
Hey, let's meet in the middle.
Yeah,
let's
we've
take
seen a
away
lot of
some
people
seller
pay over.
contributions.
Mhm.
A lot of people will pay over to get that. So it just depends on your certain scenario. Like he was talking about that person, very stubborn. Well, it's an FHA appraisal. Well, guess what? Your appraisal now, you're not selling to another FHA buyer. And,
Right.
and if you're at 140, well, you've pretty much eliminated about 60%, 70% of who are going to be looking at that. Maybe you can get a vet, but not a lot of conventional buyers in that price range, So things that sellers don't understand, or maybe they're not getting great information from their agent to kind of guide them in the right direction. But at the end of the day, hey, it's their house. They can do whatever they want.
Yep,
Right.
exactly.
One other thing I see, Brett, is, or a question. I'm just trying to give you questions that we see all the time from agents is,
Right.
The pool's not in working order. So, well, again, every loan program, the pool has to be in working order, right?
Right. I mean,
If you want
Kind of
value,
goes
if
back
you
to
want
the car
value
without
for
the
it.
So here's how you get
Yeah.
around it, right? You fill that sucker up with sand, or you put a
2x.
safety structure across it, and guess what Brett's going to do? Give you no value for that pool. That's
Right.
the only way to get around it.
right. I mean, we'll give some value because there is
For a hole in the ground.
right because it's dug, it's there.
Okay,
but
not a whole lot.
but
Right.
not a whole lot.
Right, I
exactly.
gotcha.
Exactly.
Interesting.
Or we'll give it full value and then condition it for the pool to be, final pool to be operable and filled and all that good stuff.
So trending now with these new home builders that are more prevalent these days. I mean, everybody sees them driving around town, right? There's new builders right across the street from our office. How do you see that affecting the resale market? I mean, I'm looking at numbers right now. Just 2 weeks ago, we had 8,400 listings. Now we have 9,700. So I'm seeing more inventory come on the market. How do you see those affecting?
It doesn't,
sales
because
price?
you're not going to appraise a new home with a resale, right, Brett? That's
Right,
the
but are
dirty
more
secret.
people choosing
Go
new
ahead, let
homes
it out, bro.
versus resales? I mean, do you see any of that trending or just no?
I think it comes down to the personal
buyer's
preference of the
preference.
buyer.
But
and how much they want to spend.
At the end of the day, Brett, if you're going to buy a new home, those comps are going to be all what?
New
Brand
homes, yeah, absolutely,
right?
homes,
absolutely. And if
Even
you want to buy a
they're-
new home, you're gonna pay for it.
Next neighborhood down, that it could be a completely comparable house, a year and a half older, right? You can't use that because it's
Worth
worth
$20
it's
less a foot.
$80,000 less. We got to cut
Right.
to a break, guys. When we get back, we got some callers. We'll get to you. If you do want to reach to the studio, it's 733 KXNT 733-5968, or in the office, you know the number 56. What is the number? 577-2600.
That's it, that's it.
I don't even know the number. We'll be back after this. You're listening to Real Estate Live here on News Radio 100.5.
Get into your new home faster with the help of Linear Title Las Vegas. Linear's innovative technology and superior customer service add value to every purchase, short sale, and REO transaction. From clearing title to coordinating closings, they streamline the closing process with their industry-leading cost savings, accuracy, and turnaround times. Learn more about how they can help you quickly get into your new home. Call them at 702-459-1057 to speak to one of their friendly associates, or visit their website at lineartitle.com. Linear Title and Closing, helping you make the right move since 2005.
If you're like millions of other Americans, you're wondering if now is the time to purchase a home or refinance the one you already own. You would love to take advantage of the low interest rates, but you know it's important to make a responsible decision, and that's where I can help. Hi, I'm Dustin DeHart with Nova Home Loans and host of Real Estate Live here on KXNT. I have the expertise in all the available loan programs to help you make the right decision. Take advantage of a free mortgage tune-up today if you're thinking about refinancing. Get into that 15-year loan, get rid of that mortgage insurance, or use some of your new equity to pay off debt that that you're struggling with before interest rates go up for good. Even if you have less than perfect credit, my free credit services team at Nova Home Loans will assist you on getting your score up where it needs to be and possibly get you into a home today with no down payment. Make sure to tune in to Real Estate Live here on 100.5 KXNT every Saturday from 11 to 2 to keep up to date on everything you need to know about the Las Vegas real estate market. And call me today at 577-2600. That's 577-2600, or go to homeloansforvegas.com.
We're the stronger than we look type.
I've had type 1 diabetes since I was 2.
The braver than you think type.
I have to take insulin shots every single day.
The type that sees the odds and says they're meant to be overcome.
The research JDRF is funding, it's life-changing.
We're the plan for a cure type.
When I grow up, I hope type 1 diabetes will be something I used to have.
The closer than you think type.
Things like the artificial pancreas, they aren't ideas. They're happening right now.
The type that will stop at nothing.
No more blood sugar tests.
Absolutely nothing.
No more insulin shots.
Until type 1 becomes type none.
Support JDRF, the world's largest funder of type 1 diabetes research. So one day you can say, I helped turn type 1 into type none. Join us now at jdrf.org and spread the word. # type none.
It's your place for news talk. News Radio 100.5 FM at 840 AM KXNT.
I want to crack at that cabin.
You're listening to Real Estate Live with Dustin Duhart of Nova Home Loans on News Radio 100.5 KXNT.
That sounds like football music, Mark. My fantasy football drafts today.
All right.
I'm a little distracted right now.
Right. I see you over there.
In about
looking
2
at
hours,
stats.
3 hours, I'm not going to drink any alcohol at this fantasy football.
Yeah, right.
Hey, listen, I told the guys in my league, Dustin sober at a draft is like giving Billy Bean a salary.
Look out.
But they're like, well, Dustin sober at a draft's never going to happen.
Exactly.
Billy Bean.
It's funny just even hearing you mention those words.
Oh, stop it.
Do any of your opponents listen to this radio show?
Oh, yeah. They all suck. 733 KXNT, 733-5968 is how you reach us in the studio. Let's get a caller right now. Ted, what's happening? Welcome to Real Estate Live.
How you guys doing?
Good, man. What's up?
I had a question about properties that come up. You know, you see once in a while a foreclosure will come up, and it's missing a kitchen, missing a bathroom, and to me that's kind of an opportunity because you think, oh well, you can swing a better deal on it. But it seems like people are way overpaying for these properties. I mean, you know, if you got a house that's worth $150 and it needs $25,000 to bring it back up to snuff, these people are paying over $125.
That's why Brett is protecting them. I mean, that's the point, you know. And,
but that seems like
what sucks is the listing agent or the sellers get mad when Brett does protect them, and that's the quandary.
Yeah, it also depends on the type of loan they're doing too. They may be
they're not getting a loan without a bathroom or a kitchen.
Well,
so.
it's like I came down from Reno. I'm a cash buyer, you know, and I'm looking for something like this because I would prefer to put in my own kitchen, my own bathroom.
Yeah, he wants to get a good deal. I mean, but listen, Mark, there's the low-hanging fruit that's gone, but there's still some good deals out there, right? I mean, are you working with an agent, Ted?
I actually bought something and it's like
you already did
out of the market for now, but I will be getting back into the market.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, you think that the typical rule of thumb would be, you know, whatever it costs to do the repairs on the property, and you double that and take that off the value, and that should be about what it goes for. And that's not what's happening in this market.
We are in a different market.
Well, I mean, dude, they can sell the house for whatever they want, Brett, right? Whether or not Ted wants to buy it. I mean, it's
right.
That's,
well, I'm
that's
sure
real
it's
estate,
like, you know, for somebody getting a loan, it's not going to appraise.
Absolutely not. And, well, it could appraise, but the problem is it's
not livable.
Yeah, Brett's going to come in and flag, you know, all the repairs that are needed, and unless, you know, they've got money to do an escrow holdback with Nova Home Loans or they're doing some type of rehab loan, they're not going to go through underwriting because the house is inhabitable at that point.
Right, and that's what I mean by the type of, you know, loan or financing that they're getting. I mean, it could ultimately close for that value, but they're probably having to do a lot of work to that house.
203K loans. Terrible, aren't they, bro?
Yep.
Brett, you hate doing those. Tell me the truth.
Absolutely.
Yep, me too. Ted, thanks for the call, man. Appreciate it. Let's get Jay Fromey on the phone. The rant. John, more football music. Is this John Fromey?
What's going on, guys? Where's
John.
my NFL soundbite?
We're playing it right now, bro. There you go.
I can't hear it, man.
In the studio at game day.
We can clearly hear it.
There it is.
You're working too
Hey,
hard.
tell Big Poppy to wake up over there in the corner.
Big Poppy, wake up, man.
I'm awake. I'm awake.
Put that banana down.
Take it easy, Big Poppy.
Hey, I got a couple things real quick. My wife loves olive oil.
Yeah. Well, that's the point. I said, listen, if this was Italy and those olive trees were producing olives that could make olive oil, we would have got the value. But guess what? This is Vegas, Brett. Last time I checked, those olives were poisonous. So you should actually flag them for having those suckers in their yards, because a kid could have ate that olive and died. And you know what? We can't even get insurance.
Depends on the strain of the plant.
Absolutely.
What do you mean? I can't get any value for olive trees?
Absolutely.
What are you talking about?
Well, go to Italy, dude. All right.
What about
Spain?
Or apple trees? Nothing, right?
I don't
Got
know.
nothing?
Nothing.
All right.
I got a pomegranate tree. That thing, and I hate pomegranates.
And you're not even bringing them into the
They're
office.
terrible. Yeah.
Shame you.
It's the worst, worthless fruit God ever created.
Bring him over to Schultz. He'll take a crack at it.
Stupid. It's just
one of the reasons why
the payoff's not there. You know what I'm saying, Brett? It's just
I bet you if I had it
you spend
infused with vodka,
30
you'd
minutes
be
getting those
singing a
little
different
seeds out,
story.
and you're like, these don't even taste good. Anyways, John, what's up?
Hey, quick question. Obviously, it's back to school days, and we got new teachers starting in Las Vegas from out of state and whatnot. Hey, I just want to let them know, give us a call, because we'd love an opportunity to work with some of the new teachers. The down payment assistance program is phenomenal. We can help you get your credit where it needs to be if it's not there yet. The reason why I'm saying that, we already had a couple calls from some teachers, wanting to make appointments to come in and get pre-approved. So, and we love working with teachers just like that. Obviously, it's an important part of our community.
Yeah.
But yeah, teachers, give us a call. If you don't have the down payment money, the down payment assistance program, and we can help you with credit if there's any headaches. And one of the other things I wanted to touch base on, Dustin, you were talking about jumbo loans, and you priced out because one of our realtors was doing an open house, and I wanted some numbers. How the heck could you get 3.875 on a 30-year fix on a jumbo? How do you do that?
It's magic, John. We can't quote rates on the radio, but yeah, we have great jumbo investors with phenomenal pricing. We're by far and away one of the best jumbo priced investors
by far
in Nevada. So love doing jumbo loans. Just don't like all the 5 feet worth of tax returns that usually come with them. But that's why I got Schultz and Horak for that.
Yeah.
Is that specific to you as a loan officer and how you get paid? Is that why the rates are could be different?
It's just depending on different investors that we get to actually use, and then I have a lower margin than most because of all the business we do. Simple as that. So, good point, John. I mean, we need anybody out there looking over a loan amount of over 417. That's considered jumbo financing, and I'm pretty sure we'll give you the best deal in town, right?
Yeah, without question. I was blown away after talking to you a little bit on Thursday and Friday about some of the jumbo programs, and since you have a cap in place, why you're able to give some of the jumbo clients a great deal, including lender credits, which I was impressed with. But you know what? I'm going to hang up because I'm disappointed that my olive trees didn't get me any value. I'm upset about that. I'm going to tear them out and replace them with apple trees. All right.
Take care. Bye-bye, John. All right, let's get Ron on the phone. Ron, Aaron Taylor, the real estate guy.
Are we talking about olive trees again?
No, can't give it up, can we?
Man, I wish I was there, man. You have an appraiser on the show today, and I have so many questions and input. I really apologize not being there, but San Diego is a great spot to be right now. The weather's beautiful. Having a good time down here. How's everything going over there?
We're doing great. Had a great show. Brett bringing a lot of great information. We need to have him on more often because, people have a lot of questions.
Nobody's hung over.
No one's hung over today, Aaron. So that's not normal. We'll fix that next week when you come back in.
Oh yeah, I'll help it out next week. But I have one question. Tell me if you guys talked about this, and then can I ask the appraiser a question? You guys got time?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but ask it, and we're going to cut to a break and have them answer it. Okay.
Okay. My question is, I've been asked at least 3 times this week from past clients, do solar panels help in the value of my house if I purchase them? And will they help if I purchase them cash? Will they help if they finance? I want to tell you the advice I've been giving them. I want to make sure it's right.
Perfect. What a great tease. Hey, Aaron, have fun, man. We'll see you next week, okay?
Later.
Bye, bud. All right, we're going to cut to a break. When we get back, Brett will answer that question for you because that's a big hot topic here in Las Vegas right now, solar panels. You want to reach us in the studio? It's 733-KXNT, 733-5968, or in the office, 577-2600. We'll be back after this. You're listening to Real Estate Live.
We're not only supporters of solar energy, we're leading the way in bringing it to Nevada.
We are NV Energy. Learn more about solar energy from the people who know energy best at nvsolarfacts.com.
If you need to sell your house,
talk to Aaron Taylor.
The most experience around,
talk to Aaron Taylor.
You want to sell it fast and get the most cash, talk to Aaron Taylor.
The real estate guy.
Talk to Aaron Taylor.
Call 310-MOVE.
Talk to Aaron Taylor.
Call 310-MOVE.
It takes a whole lot more than a fancy yard sign. If you want to sell your house, call the real estate guy. Talk to Aaron Taylor.
310-MOVE.
Do you want to learn how to mask your identity to browse inappropriate websites and stream media while at the office?
Well, we can't help you with that. But among the many IT problems we solve, Barracuda's web security solutions keep online activity clean and ensure internet bandwidth performance. Reclaim your network, like 150,000 other businesses already have. To learn more about preventing web-based threats, visit barracuda.com/web.
For over 75 years, Geico's been about consistency, as in we've consistently helped people save money on their car insurance. And to prove it, we'll air one of our first radio commercials from over 75 years ago.
At Geico, we're all about consistency, as in we consistently help people save money on their car insurance. To prove it, you can call Geico. Call us today, call us tomorrow, call us 75 years from now.
That was way more consistent than I expected.
Geico, saving people money for over 75 years.
You're struggling with your mortgage. You think about it all the time.
What are we going to do if we lose the house?
It's time to stop thinking and start dialing. Call 1-888-995-HOPE for a free government program that offers expert one-on-one advice about your mortgage options. We've helped over 1 million homeowners, and we want to help you. Call 1-888-995-HOPE or visit makinghomeaffordable.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Treasury, HUD, and the Ad Council.
2 powerful signals. One place for news and talk. News Radio 100.5 FM and 840 AM KXNT. You're listening to Real Estate Live with Dustin DeHart of Nova Home Loans on News Radio 100.5 KXNT.
All right, welcome back to Real Estate Live here on News Radio 100.5 KXNT. Dustin DeHart here with Nova Home Loans, live in the studio with the voice of reason, Dennis Schultz from Nova Home Loans.
Yeah.
And, of course, Mark Bowman from
Hello.
048 Realty. And our guest today, Brett Stone from Primetime Appraisals.
Oh, yeah.
You Deion Sanders fan? Is that what you called it?
No.
Primetime Appraisals?
No, I just thought it sounded cool.
That does sound cool. I have to admit. Primetime Mortgages. Can we change Nova Home Loans?
I like that.
Primetime Home Loans.
Strong.
I'll see if I can make that happen. 733-KXNT, 733-5968. You got Brett for about
The real estate guy.
You got Brett for about 8 more minutes. Oops. So take advantage of it if you want to ask him a question, and you might be in the running for $50 to Home Depot. Gift certificate.
Depot.
We'll give that away next hour. Coming up after the break, we're going to have Manny Hernandez, our vice president. He's one of our vice presidents, and he runs our credit services division, which we also call Home is on the Horizon. Need any questions about credit or want to know some of the shenanigans that are happening? You want to stay tuned for Manny coming up about 110-ish. So, all right. So Aaron Taylor, the real estate guy, who's normally on the show with us, he's in San Diego on a vacation. Right. He asked a question about solar panels, kind of a hot topic here in Las Vegas. Me and you talked about it during the break, but there's not a whole lot of sampling for you to do a good job of giving adjustments right now. Is that right?
Exactly. I mean,
not enough solar panels out there that aren't leased that are owned, right?
Correct.
Now, for instance, if in a certain neighborhood where there's 4 properties, all similar square feet and make and everything else, and let's say 2 had solar panels that were paid off, they owned them outright, right, and 2 didn't, I would assume you would give value to that all day long, right?
If those homes that had the solar panels sold for more than those homes that didn't,
you could make that work.
Back to the comps. Back to the comps.
Well, it's back to the comps totally, and you could then justify that those solar panels did add value to those other homes. So,
gotcha. Let's do rapid fire questions here. Larry, got to be quick. Welcome to Real Estate Live. What's happening?
Okay, it's real quick. I do own a home that has a solar package on it that is indeed paid for.
Good job, man.
And I'm going to sell the home. And my thought is I'd much rather sell the home and lease the new homeowner the solar package.
Wow.
That's a good one. I've never heard of that one.
But they're attached.
He's gonna be like a Nevada Energy.
He's like a solar city.
He wants to get his money back a month. I don't know how that would work.
Well, I don't see why you couldn't.
I don't see why you couldn't either. You'd have to leave it outside. I mean, if the other person's getting financing, that couldn't be something that you'd have to leave that outside of financing. Work something outside of escrow with the guy. I don't know how you would guarantee that they're going to pay each month either.
It's got if you are going to put that into the sales contract, I think Solar City has like an acceptable lease contract. You want to kind of follow their verbiage because that Fannie Mae has kind of approved those type of lease programs. So if you are seriously entertaining that idea, I would call on someone from their office and review their lease contracts and kind of use some of that.
What kind of value would you put on that?
Well, it's my cost was $33,000. Now, when I put it in there, not only did I get the solar panels, this is 2.5 years ago, I got a new heating and cooling package, new SEER, with the proper SEER for the time.
Why the heck are you moving?
Yeah, seriously.
Well, I'm gonna remarry. My wife passed away, and
I'm sorry.
The new lady in my life does not want to live in the home where my wife passed away, where she shared the home with me.
Gotcha.
So,
well, Larry, we'd love to help you sell in that house, and we'll dig up some more information for you and see if we can get you a little better answer, not on the radio. Okay.
Okay. Now, are you Nova Homes or are you this other company?
Nova Home Loans and 048 Real Estate. Okay.
Two separate companies.
Two separate companies. You're going to be working with the real estate side, not Nova Home Loans. Okay.
Okay.
Thanks, Larry. 577-2600 to reach us in the office. Appreciate the call, man. Great call. Let's get one more call here. Mark, welcome to Real Estate Live. What's happening?
Hey, how are you? Hey, I had a quick question. Got a nice home in Summerlin. Been there for about 20-some years. Pool, jacuzzi, 2,500 square feet again. Question is, I'm thinking about downsizing next year. Am I better off to upgrade the kitchens and bathrooms before I sell it? Because it is kind of dated. It would show well, but just that was one of my concerns and just thinking if I would be headed in the right direction on that.
Absolutely, but you got to be careful. You don't want to upgrade too much. So, that's where you need to get Mark Bowman and Aaron Taylor to come in there, right, Mark?
Absolutely.
And go take a look. And
working with a lot of buyers, they will always buy a home that's been updated unless there's a huge value difference. But they're always going to go for the updated one.
You also might want to take a look at the other homes that are listed for sale in your neighborhood.
Good point.
And, see what they have in their bathrooms and kitchen.
So here's what you do, Mark. Get an appraisal done because Brett can actually figure out the comps in the neighborhood to see who's really got upgraded kitchens and bathrooms, right, Brett? And if they don't, then, dude, don't spend the money, right? That's a great idea.
Well, I've kind of gotten some of the high-end comps before and kind of the low-end comps. So, again,
you're going to get in the high-end comp if you spend a little more money, but will you get it all back and be enough we're dollar
Depends
to
what your
dollar.
costs are.
Yeah, that's why you really got to get an Asian in there, like a 48.
Did you say Asian?
You got to get an Asian in there.
The good thing for me is I'm in a great position because I don't have to sell. I'm at a great rate on the 15-year loan. So, I mean, I'm kind of in the driver's seat where it goes there. But again, if I want it to sell fast, I want it to show nice and make it look good and maximize.
Clean the house up, spruce up the bathroom and kitchen. That thing will sell them.
Yeah, and a lot of those homes in that area that you're talking about are starting to age a bit because they're 20, 25 years old. And, obviously as we evolve, we definitely update and upgrade our kitchens and bathrooms.
Hey,
both.
Mark, we got to cut to a hard break. We appreciate the call, man. When you're looking to sell.
You guys have a great day. Appreciate it.
Thanks, man. When you're looking to sell, give us a call. Brett, thank you for coming on the show today.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me. Had a good
lot
time.
of great information. You obviously sound like a great appraisal. You're a great appraisal. How much did you? What value did you give for him?
I gave him a 10.
A 10. We gave you a 10.
Sure.
Called worse.
Thank you so much, and blast out your phone number again. Anybody wants to get a personal appraisal, I hope they'd call you.
All right, give me a call at 702-203-4361.
There you go. Brett Stone from Prime Time Appraisals. Give him a call, guys. All right. When we get back, we've got Manny Hernandez from Credit Services. Home is on the horizon. It's like getting stock tips from Warren Buffett. You want to know anything about credit, you better stay tuned for the next hour.
That's right.
Let's get some more calls going, though, guys. We still haven't given away that $50 to Home Depot. 733-KXNT, 733-5968, or you can reach us in the office right now, guys. People standing by, waiting to book your appointments for real estate or mortgage, whatever you need. 577-2600. That's 577-2600. We'll be back after this. You're listening to Real Estate Live here on News Radio 100.5 KXNT. Home Depot.
Get into your new home faster with the help of Linear Title Las Vegas. Linear's innovative technology and superior customer service add value to every purchase, short sale, and REO transaction. From clearing title to coordinating closings, they streamline the closing process with their industry-leading cost savings, accuracy, and turnaround times. Learn more about how they can help you quickly get into your new home. Call them at 702-459-1057 to speak to one of their friendly associates, or visit their website at lineartitle.com. Linear Title and Closing, helping you make the right move since 2005.
When you think of the reasons people end up in the ER, you probably wouldn't think of West Nile virus from mosquitoes, asthma attacks from cockroaches, hantavirus from rodents, or Lyme disease from ticks. Even bites from fire ants and other stinging insects send 500,000 people here every year. But you could make a difference in helping to protect your family from pest-related illnesses. Go to pestworld.org to learn how. Why wait until there's an emergency?
Broadcasting live from the Dollar Loan Center Auto Title Loan Studio. News Radio 100.5. KXNT AM and HD, North Las Vegas. KXNT FM and HD1, Henderson, a CBS radio station.
CBS News, I'm Gary Nunn. It's a day of remembrance, prayer, and thanksgiving in New Orleans, 10 years to the day when Hurricane Katrina slammed into the Louisiana and Mississippi Gulf coasts. CBS News correspondent Steve Futterman at one ceremony.
The wreath has been brought to the location in front of the interment spot for the unnamed and unclaimed victims of Katrina. And now the mayor, former Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, holding hands, saying a prayer. All part of this 10th anniversary commemoration of Katrina. Steve Futterman, CBS News, New Orleans.
Tonight, former President Clinton will be among the dignitaries at a concert prayer service in New Orleans. While it was a tropical storm, Erica carved a deadly path across Dominica, killing at least 20 people. Now it's a trough of high pressure soaking eastern Cuba. Florida Governor Rick Scott says there's still the threat of flooding in some parts of his state, including the Tampa Bay area.
There's still a chance now it's going to start going over water. Once it leaves Cuba, it's going to be over quite a bit of water. It's unpredictable. This storm has been completely unpredictable the whole time, so we've got to continue to watch it. And even if it doesn't become a tropical storm or hurricane, we can get a lot of rain, and we can get a lot of flooding.
Winds have diminished to 35 miles an hour. A person of interest is being questioned in the fatal shooting of a deputy county sheriff in Texas last night. Darren Goforth was pumping gas at a filling station in suburban Houston when he was ambushed. District Attorney Devin Anderson.
There are a few bad apples in every profession. That does not mean that there should be open warfare declared on law enforcement.
Authorities now reviewing surveillance video, appealing for help in identifying the shooter. The fight against ISIS widened again today. CBS's Larry Miller at the Foreign Desk in London.
Turkey has now joined the U.S.-led coalition against the Islamic State. Its fighter jets, along with other coalition warplanes, attacked IS targets in Syria Friday. Turkish jets operating outside the coalition first hit IS last month. The new strikes follow a cooperation agreement between Turkey and the U.S. Ankara says it attacked targets that are a security threat to Turkey, calling the fight against the terrorist group a priority. Larry Miller, CBS News, London.
Actor Kyle Jean-Baptiste, who has been appearing in the Broadway production of Les Miserables, is dead. He was the first African-American to star as Jean Valjean. Baptiste fell to the ground from the fire escape at the home of his mother last night. Kyle Jean-Baptiste was 21 years old. Usain Bolt of Jamaica wins his third gold medal of the World Championships in Beijing, anchoring Jamaica's 4x100-meter relay team to victory. The U.S. team was disqualified from the event. This is CBS News.
This is John Greenhut, and if your teeth are stained from coffee, tea, or smoking, Power Swabs is the answer. In 5 minutes, you'll see 2 shades wider teeth, and in 7 days, 6 shades. Even better, there's no messy strips or trays that you'll have to leave in your mouth for an hour. Just swab your teeth for 5 minutes, and you're done. To try Power Swabs, call 1-800-679-0969. Your bright white smile will have your friends talking about how great you look. Try it risk-free. 1-800-679-0969. That's 1-800-679-0969.
Have you heard? Proactive Plus is faster and better than ever. Stay tuned for a $1 million bottle giveaway, and you'll also receive free shipping. With Proactive Plus, your acne can heal, and you can help prevent new breakouts. Don't miss this limited time offer. We're going to let 1 million people try Proactive Plus risk-free and get 2 free gifts, and also receive free shipping when you call right now. Call 800-393-6272. That's 800-393-6272.
She has show business staying power after all these years. Ingrid Bergman, born 100 years ago today. CBS's Jim Taylor reflects.
As film critic Leonard Maltin puts it,
Ingrid Bergman is one of the great names from Hollywood's golden age.
I don't understand. What about you?
I'm staying here with him till the plane gets safely away.
No, Richard, no. What is
remembered most for her appearance in Casablanca, the great Ingrid Bergman starred in so many memorable stage and screen performances: Gaslight, Anastasia, Murder on the Orient Express. She won Oscars in each of those movies. She had lasting power.
She got an Oscar nomination in the 1970s and an Oscar win in the 1970s. And that for a woman who became a star in the 1940s.
Observing the Ingrid Bergman centenary, Jim Taylor, CBS News.
Vin Scully says he will return for a 67th season calling games for the LA Dodgers. He began in 1950 when the team was in Brooklyn. His consecutive years doing games makes him the longest tenured broadcaster with one team in sports history. Gary Nunn, CBS News.
This is an announcement for all people who want to take a risk-free challenge to whiten their teeth in 5 minutes. By calling now, you can whiten your teeth in 5 minutes using clinically proven Power Swabs. This risk-free challenge is for people whose smile has been yellowed by coffee, tea, red wine, or smoking. The Power Swabs 5-minute challenge is available by responding to this advertisement. If lines are busy, try again. Because the Power Swabs 5-minute challenge is exclusive, it's not available in drugstores. Power Swabs was formulated by Dr. Martin Ginniger and whitens teeth with a patented tooth detergent and whitening agent. It's so effective, we challenge you to try it for 5 minutes to see how white your smile could be. Get it risk-free. Dial 1-800-204-1201. That's 1-800-204-1201. Transform your smile into a wow, you look great smile. Dial 1-800-204-1201. That's 1-800.
News and opinion all day long. News Radio 100.5 FM at 840 AM KXNT.
The proceeding is a paid program from the advertiser. The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the show's participants and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of KXNT or CBS Radio.
Now to absorb some local color through the magic of AM radio.
What is that, Atari? Are you playing Space Invaders now?
Stop, collaborate, and listen. All right, go ahead.
ICE is back with a brand new invention.
Something grabs
hands are holding me tightly. Flow like a harpoon daily and nightly. Will it ever stop?
This is Real Estate Live with Dustin DeHart of Nova Home Loans. You can ask Dustin and his guests any real estate question. Call 733-KXNT. That's 733-5968. Real Estate Live is brought to you by Aaron Taylor, the real estate guy, Linear Title and Closing, and Nova Home Loans. Now, Real Estate Live with Dustin DeHart of Nova Home Loans on News Radio 100.5 KXNT.
All right, welcome back to Real Estate Live here on News Radio 100.5 KXNT. Dustin DeHart here with Nova Home Loans, live in the studio with Dennis Schultz, my man from Nova Home Loans.
Representing.
That's right. And, of course, Mark Bowman filling in for Aaron today from 048 Realty. 733-KXNT is how you reach us in the studio, or 577-2600. All right, Mark, I'm going to need your help here.
Okay.
First off, we're going to get Manny Hernandez on the line. Manny, you there?
I'm here.
Manny runs our credit services division. Manny, the phone lines are blown up, so I want me and you to answer some calls together. You up for that? Some of them might be credit related. Let's see if we can get Eric on the phone with us. Eric, what's happening? Welcome to Real Estate Live. How are you?
Good, thanks. How are you guys doing?
Oh, we're hanging in there, man. What's your question today?
Oh, I enjoy listening to the show, and I have a question about refinancing my house.
Okay.
I'm currently in an ARM, and it's I think got another year on it.
Okay.
I have about $630,000 on it, so it's a jumbo.
Okay, what do you think the home's worth, Eric? Do you have any idea?
When it was appraised 3 years ago, it was
3 years ago. That was like 30 years ago, dude.
all right. That's when I did that loan there.
Well, what did it appraise 3 years ago for?
For $1 million.
$1 million. How many square feet is it?
About 7,000.
7,000. Okay, so you got plenty of equity. How's your credit, man?
Pretty good.
Pretty good?
Yep.
Give me an idea. What's pretty good?
I think high 700.
High. Well, that's pretty good. Okay. So it just comes down to your income. Do you have a job that's you're a W-2 job, or are you a self-employed guy?
I'm a self-employed guy.
Okay, so we got to get your tax returns, my friend. We need to get you out of that adjustable rate mortgage. What's your rate, Eric? Do you know?
It's about 3.7.
3.7. Okay, so we probably can get you that fixed. So it's going to come down to getting your income verified.
Right.
So I want to talk to you, my friend. Okay.
Great.
I want you to call. We're going to do a free mortgage tune-up for you. And if we do a refinance, we're going to pay for your appraisal today. Okay. So
All right,
I want you to call my friend in the office right now at 577-2600, 577-2600, and we'll get in touch with you, get you in the office next week, and get you out of that ARM. Okay.
You got it.
Thanks, brother.
Guys.
All right, appreciate
Have a
it.
good one.
All right, Mark, help me out here. He's cut off.
Just hang up.
Oh, just hang up. It's easy as that, Manny. All right, you ready for another call, Manny? Let's see if this one's for
Yes.
you. All right. Jeanette, welcome to Real Estate Live. What's happening?
Johnette?
Johnette, sorry.
Hey, how you doing? I just had to call in. Kind of a male-dominated show you got there.
I know. Thank God.
That's right.
Hey, but isn't there any women investors? I mean, come on now.
Oh,
we love women on
God
the
bless
show.
America,
I mean,
Jeanette. What are you
All
trying
right,
to do?
Listen, I've got a rental home. I've got several rental homes, but I've got one that I've got a renter moving out that's been in there about 7 years. I need to get in there and clean it up and possibly either sell it or rent it. And I'm just kind of in a quandary. I'm not quite sure what to do because I want to put some money into it. If I'm going to rent it, it needs new carpet, needs maybe some new countertops, that sort of thing. But I don't want to spend too much. So I'm kind of going back and forth. I don't quite know how much to invest into it.
Have you seen the property?
I haven't seen it since they moved out, but they're not moved out yet. They moved out in 2 weeks, but they're really great people. I mean, super people. So
Mark,
square footage.
You're going to need to go out there, Mark, and take it, and take a look at it.
2,400 square feet. It's in the northwest part of Summerlin. It's a real nice area. So it's about 2,400, I believe. 4-bedroom, off Hill Center area.
Well, the bottom line is, we got to get the renter out of there, get into the property, take a look at it, see what it looks like, see what repairs are needed, and we'll go from there. So we want to help you with that, Jeanette. So why don't you call us in the office? Johnette, sorry.
That's fine, no problem.
We're going to call you when we get out of the studio today, and we'll see what we can do for you. Okay.
All right, that sounds great.
We appreciate the call. 577-2600. Manny, you there?
I'm here.
He's still in there. All right, Manny. How was the fantasy football draft? That's the number one thing I got to ask you. He did.
It was great. Just left it actually about 20 minutes ago. So.
And you're still sober?
Who'd you pick? Yeah, man, he's still sober. He's a professional, Dennis.
He's like me. Just kidding.
Manny, who was your first pick, dude? That's the first question I got to ask you.
Des Bryant.
Oh, you're a Dallas Cowboys fan, aren't you?
Dallas Cowboys. Oh, I'm in Dallas. Come on. What did you expect?
Who'd you take at second? Tony Romo?
Jameis Winston.
I went Ben Roethlisberger. That's who I picked. For
That's not a bad pick.
For my QB.
All right, that's good. All right, you know what, Manny? Hold on. We got one more call, and then we're going to get to you for 30 minutes. Let's get Jim on the phone. Jim, what's happening? Welcome to Real Estate Live.
How you doing today?
We're doing good. What's your question?
I bought my home and I paid for it. I'm retired, and I just bought a solar system, solar panel on a lease agreement. And if I sold my home, would that increase the value of my home?
Yeah, 100% yes, Jim.
Does it matter if it's a lease agreement?
Oh, no. If it's I thought you paid for that.
Well, what are the terms of the lease? I mean, if you leave, can the buyer assume that, or?
Yeah, they can assume that. Yeah, it's a 20-year lease.
Then absolutely, it's
So
not. It's not going to. It's not going to help it too much, but it's going to help it. I mean, and
gonna
again,
attract
it's one of
more
those
people.
things where in solar, it's all kind of new to us, but
yeah,
you know, it's definitely not going to hurt you. It's going to attract more people to buy your home. Okay, Jim.
Right.
Thanks for the
Okay,
call,
I
man.
appreciate-
All right. Sorry about that, Manny. All right, we got all the calls out of the way. Manny is our. What's your exact title? I always screwed up. You're vice president of what?
What do they call it? Vice President of Lender Services is my official title.
Manny, where did you start? You started in this industry about 20 years ago, right?
Yeah, 21 years ago, I started in Southern Arizona. I was managing a small mortgage credit reporting agency there. Started in 1994. Was there for about 6 years. And then after that, in 2000, I was recruited by one of the top 15 mortgage lenders in the nation to start an in-house mortgage credit reporting agency.
Right. Then 2006 hit, right? And how'd that go for you?
Yeah, so
You got busy.
2007 hit, and we imploded along with about 300 other lenders. And so, yeah, I was there for 7 years. I built it up. We had about 50 people on staff at the time. We're running about 50,000 units a month. And so it was a pretty big operation there, working with First Magnus. And then in 2007, things, of course, took that downturn, and we closed up shop in August of 2007. And then after that's when I ended up with Nova Home Loans.
And what was the reasoning you went to Nova Home Loans?
Nova actually used to be one of my biggest accounts back when I first started in 1994. So great rapport with everybody, wonderful company. Many of the same team players were there. I reached out to Nova, wanted to talk about a new idea that I had. And basically it was a concept of bringing credit services in-house to our clients free of charge. So that's the concept that I wanted to put together and sell to Nova Home Loans. And since then, we've actually expanded dramatically. I now have 14 people on the team. Last month, we contributed to 443 loans for the company. And so it was a pretty significant impact as far as, finding the resources, growing the team, and the impact that we've had to the organization has been pretty significant.
Yeah, let's not brush over those numbers.
400 units.
That's
400
insane.
plus.
So, I mean, how many loans did we close last month? 1,500-ish, right?
Yeah, it was about 1,500, just under.
And you guys were responsible for 400-ish because of
we
your
helped
services.
contribute to that. So what I mean by that is we actually took a consumer who had a credit report that was either non-qualifying or that had a FICO score that maybe didn't give them the best interest rate. So they had a qualifying credit report but wanted a better interest rate, and we were able to work with the consumer or borrower at that point to bring their scores up to where they could qualify for a better rate.
Yeah, it's listen, I mean, credit services is widespread, Dennis, and you know this, and Mark, you started since you've been working with us. It's sometime for the first time home buyer that calls in and listen, they have a 580 credit score or 560, and Manny and his team, they get them over to acceptable terms for an FHA deal, 620 or whatever it is, whatever we need them to do.
Absolutely,
but sometimes it's the guy that has the 720. Manny, right? That wants to get to a 740 so he can get the prime interest rate.
Right, exactly. We do that.
And it doesn't even have to be the first time home buyer either.
It's
it could
any
be
applicant of Nova
Right.
Home Loans. And a lot of things credit services do for us, besides helping people with their scores and getting it up to where it needs to be, is the little things that we have to do throughout the process that people don't understand, that it's so time consuming,
like fixing the name on a credit report that doesn't match the purchase contract,
or ordering a credit supplement for this, or removing a dispute or disputing something, Manny, right? I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on.
Absolutely. Especially like with Clark County, especially, we did run into the scenario a lot where we had many credit reports where the FICO score was fine, the credit report was okay, but there was a short sale that was 4 or 5 years ago. That was very common in Clark County, Las Vegas area. And we would have to work on making sure that information is being reported correctly. So even though the FICO score was there, the overall credit report was fine, the way the actual data was being reported to the bureaus was not acceptable to Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac when we would run the automated underwriting systems.
Right. So it was a computer program that was picking that up through a wrong code, and it wasn't giving them an acceptable approval, right?
Right, exactly. So we actually spent several months working with our credit vendor, and we were one of the first companies in the nation, actually the first company that had the ability to begin enhancing our trade lines to where we could actually maneuver the credit bureau data in a manner that would actually be acceptable to Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac when we would run the automated systems.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
And it was as a result of the background and experience of myself and the team that we have. Keep in mind, everybody on my team has on average of 10 plus years experience. Many of them are well over 15 years of experience in the mortgage credit arena and lending arena.
So you're trying to say we don't have a call center in India? We actually have people here in America.
Yeah, that's a good point. So walk them through once an applicant in Nova Home Loans deems they need credit services, you guys roll out the red carpet, Manny. I mean, what can they expect from you guys?
Absolutely. We pride ourselves on the service levels that we have. And keep in mind, the service is 100% free. I cannot stress that enough. Everything that we offer within the team is 100% free to the borrower. They're not going to be charged directly, indirectly, in any way, shape, or form. There's not an impact to the interest rate, et cetera. Working with the team, what we do is we actually, initially the loan officer will identify what the loan program is. And my team is not only experienced in the credit side, but we're also responsible for understanding the underwriting guidelines and the loan programs that Nova Home Loans offers. So that when we begin working with that consumer, we know that after we go through the process, which many times can take well over 1 year to get the credit back on track, we know that once they come out of the credit services program, the Home on the Horizon program, they'll actually have a credit report that will meet the guideline requirements that we have. So the loan officer will identify what loan program they feel is best for the consumer. Once that's identified, they'll be turned over to credit services. We will pull the underwriting guidelines, work directly with the borrower. We will reach out to the consumer via telephone, also via email, go over what our recommendations are on how to improve the credit rating in order to qualify for the home loan, or as we discussed earlier, obtain a better interest rate. After that, we will follow up with the borrower directly on a regular basis just to make sure that we do stay on track and we do meet our goals. After they come out of the program, we would then advise the loan officer, the borrower, realtor that the loan is ready to move
That's
forward.
my favorite part.
Yeah, and we turn them back over to Dustin and make sure Dustin gets the loan done. And that's pretty much what we do. But we spend a lot of time communicating directly with that borrower. And it's not just an email communication. It's not just one phone call and we're done. We're constantly following up with the consumer. We actually just launched a new promotion now where we're actually sending video updates to the consumer. That'll be basically the assigned credit analyst speaking on a video link that's being sent via email that will discuss where the borrower is at, follow up with the consumer, see if they've done what has been recommended. It's a very personal experience working with credit services. They do receive something in the mail that does have a Welcome to the Home on the Horizon program offered by Nova Home Loans that does contain all the contact information for the assigned credit analyst. When I say the contact information, it's all the direct phone numbers, emails, cell phone numbers, etc., along with an email address, a photo of the assigned credit analyst that's working directly with that borrower. And again, it's just to follow up on all the recommendations. It's a pretty thick packet that does get sent out. And then after that, we just begin working directly with the consumer.
Yeah.
As I mentioned, it does at times take well over 1 year. Last month, we did contribute to 443 loans. 17 of those loans, they took well over 1 year to get there. And even more than that, we did break it down even further, and we had 5 loans where we were actually working with the borrower for 2 years. So we actually spent 2 years, all free of charge, working with the borrower to help them get that approval that they were looking for.
Yeah, and here's what's amazing, Dennis. I mean, I got an email from Christina Jordan, who's normally not my loan or my credit services processor.
Right.
On the weekend, Saturday at 11:43, still following up with clients, running soft polls, and seeing if they did get their secured credit card and asking if they need more information. I mean, Manny, they work around the clock. It's amazing.
They really do. We have the hours of operation are Monday through Saturday, Monday through Friday, 7 to 6 p.m., and then on Saturday, 8 to noon. But you will find credit services will be sending emails 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, and that is no exaggeration. Last month, we did work with 1,600 requests that came through. And out of the 14 processors that we have, every single one of them at one point or another had worked through the weekend. And so just the hours that they're putting in and the commitment that we have to the borrowers and helping them achieve their goals is definitely something that is unique. I have not seen that sort of dedication. We were fortunate enough to find just the right team members to put them in the positions that we have now. And they are passionate about working with the borrowers and helping them to get into the home loans. Many of them continue to communicate with the borrowers even after we close, just via email, just for updates, or come back to Nova, work with the team on a second. Again, even after they're in the home, we can continue to work with the borrowers if they know 6 months down the line they can refinance, or 12 months down the line they can refinance with an improved FICO score and obtain a better rate at that point as well. So the communication is definitely something that makes the borrowers feel comfortable. Again, we're dealing with consumers who have had credit challenges in the past, and we want to make sure that confidence is instilled with the consumer, that they know.
Yeah, Manny, because a lot of them have worked with credit repair companies and they've had a bad experience. Okay, so here's the difference between credit services and credit repair companies.
That's the same.
A big deal. Number one, you're not getting charged for it. Number two, as Manny said, they're going to work with you on the confounds of you buying a home. A lot of ways to improve your credit score, Manny, right? But then when you go back to Nova Home Loans from some of these credit repair companies that have charged you thousands of dollars to maybe, quote unquote, add you to an unauthorized user to a credit card that I now have to rip off, or disputing a bunch of accounts that when you come back to us, I now have to remove those disputes. And guess what? Your score is exactly where it was in the beginning. So that's the big deal, folks. Anybody can improve a credit score. But do you want to buy a house, right, Manny? I mean, that's what we have to factor in here and explain to people. And the fact that it's free, there really is no excuses. If you do what Manny and his team tell you to do and you participate, because they've got your back, as Manny said. They roll out the red carpet. They're going to send you videos. They're constantly following up with you. They're constantly doing soft polls that will have no impact on your credit score. And you jump through the little bit of hoops that you have to, and you follow their instructions, you will end up buying a house. Now, listen, it might take a month. It might take a year. It might take, like Manny said, a few people 2 years. But guess what? Those few people that it took 2 years, I guarantee they're pretty happy right now because they're out. They just moved into their brand new home.
You summed it up great, Dustin, because this really is a testimonial for people. You said one thing that's very important: participation. People have to actively work on it with the credit services members that we bring them to. But again, just summing this up, there's people out there that are charging for credit services, and there is no quick get your score up right away helping plan. It doesn't exist.
Yeah, and Manny, last time I checked, I'm pretty sure Nova Home Loans is the only ones that offer this type of service.
It is, and based on my experience, 20 plus years experience, I do work with all the national mortgage credit reporting agencies, and we have been able to create something that is absolutely unique on a national level. We have not found another mortgage company that has been able to replicate what we have put together. Especially with the experience level that we have with the team. This is on a national level, all 50 states. We have not found any other organization that has been able to put together a program like we have here.
Yeah, the experience is key because, man, I hate to cut you off here, but Mark, I've got a deal right now. It's an 048 deal, okay? And one of the gentlemen's score, they're both buying together, partners, okay? One of them's a 740. One's a 680, and it was because of a small collection. Okay, now they're conventional buyers. Well, now Manny, what do I have to price the loan out at? 680, right?
680.
Not going to get not going to get the prime interest rate. Very, very irritated about this because the collection at hand had been paid off a long time ago. It re-reported incorrectly,
right?
And they basically called up the collection agency and they go, "Yeah, that was our bad." However, it's going to take about 30 days for us to get it in there and fix that. Well, we don't have 30 days. So guess what Manny did? Manny can actually dispute through. Maybe I'm giving the secret sauce here, Manny. I'm sorry, but I have to. All right, bro. This is where experience counts. And this is another thing I doubt any other mortgage company in the country is doing. He went directly to the CFPB to get the dispute handled. And what happens after that, Manny? Once the cops come after you, all of a sudden that collection gets removed pretty quickly, doesn't it?
It does. Just as Nova Home Loans is required to have staff on site to address any questions that come from the CFPB, every lender, every financial institution, every collection agency has the same. And so we actually have been able to get results back in about 3 to 4 business days working with the CFPB when we're working with a lender that is not basically following the Fair Credit Reporting Act guidelines or not following through with industry standards.
Yeah,
excellent.
It's ridiculous. Experience counts. You know, Manny's been in the obviously. You know, Manny's a licensed loan officer. When I talked to him yesterday at our great credit class that we had for a bunch of real estate agents, Manny's like, I have no desire to ever write loans, but Manny knows credit more than anybody in the country, and that's why he's put together such a phenomenal team that I'm proud to work at Nova Home Loans. And one of the main reasons is because of credit services, because no one else can offer that. And when people are being told no, right and left every day by different lenders that either A, don't want to deal with it because they don't have the wherewithal or the time to get their scores up, or B, sending them to some quote unquote shady credit repair company that's overcharging them and not doing things that's actually going to get them financing at the end.
Yeah.
I could tell people absolutely here's who's going to contact you. They contact them right away. They go through what's called a credit simulator. Is that right, Manny? I mean, that's basically your algorithms of this is how we get it figured out. This is how long it's going to take. This is what we need to do. You guys lay out a roadmap and walk with them hand in hand and tell them where they need to be. And guess what? As Dennis said, our favorite email is when Eva or Christina or one of Manny's processors go, hey, guess what? We're a 680 now. We're ready to go.
Give them a call.
And those are some happy people, just like the guy that got his credit score from a 680 to a 740 and got an eighth of a point better in interest rate, which would not have happened at any other mortgage company. I can guarantee you that.
And people take that for granted. You know, I talked to a gentleman the other day who was
you know what?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hold on. And Manny, can you hang on for one more segment? Because I want to do some credit 101 with you. Because that's what we promised all the listeners. And if anybody wants to talk to Manny Hernandez, if you've got a question about your credit, this is your time to call in. This is the time. Again, I said this is like getting a stock tip from Warren Buffett. Okay, so don't let me down, dude. You did take what? That's Brian. I'm a little disappointed in you. I'm just kidding. All right, so hang tight, Manny. All right, when we get back, guys, we're going to continue our discussion with Manny Hernandez from Credit Services. If you want to reach us in the studio, you have any credit questions, 733-KXNT. We'll be back after this. You're listening to Real Estate Live here on News Radio 100.5 KXNT.
Want to watch the current season of NCIS or past seasons of The Good Wife? With CBS All Access, you can watch these and other CBS shows live or on demand on your computer, tablet, or smartphone. Go to cbs.com/access now for your free trial.
If you need to sell your house,
talk to Aaron Taylor.
The most experience around.
Talk to Aaron Taylor.
You want to sell it fast and get the most cash. Talk to Aaron Taylor.
The real estate guy.
Talk to Aaron Taylor.
Call 310-MOVE.
Talk to Aaron Taylor.
Call 310-MOVE.
It takes a whole lot more than a fancy yard sign. If you want to sell your house, call the real estate guy. Talk to Aaron Taylor. 310 Move.
If you're like millions of other Americans, you're wondering if now is the time to purchase a home or refinance the one you already own. You would love to take advantage of the low interest rates, but you know it's important to make a responsible decision, and that's where I can help. Hi, I'm Dustin DeHart with Nova Home Loans and host of Real Estate Live here on KXNT. I have the expertise in all the available loan programs to help you make the right decision. Take advantage of a free mortgage tune-up today if you're thinking about refinancing. Get into that 15-year loan, get rid of that mortgage insurance, or use some of your new equity to pay off debt that you're struggling with before interest rates go up for good. Even if you have less than perfect credit, my free credit services team at Nova Home Loans will assist you on getting your score up where it needs to be and possibly get you into a home today with no down payment. Make sure to tune in to Real Estate Live here on 100.5 KXNT every Saturday from 11 to 2 to keep up to date on everything you need to know about the Las Vegas real estate market. And call me today at 577-2600. That's 577-2600, or go to homeloansforvegas.com.
Get into your new home faster with the help of Linear Title Las Vegas. Linear's innovative technology and superior customer service add value to every purchase, short sale, and REO transaction. From clearing title to coordinating closings, they streamline the closing process with their industry-leading cost savings, accuracy, and turnaround times. Learn more about how they can help you quickly get into your new home. Call them at 702-459-1057 to speak to one of their friendly associates, or visit their website at lineartitle.com. Linear Title and Closing, helping you make the right move since 2005.
There are a ton of social networking websites, but one stands apart for a very special reason. This one saves lives. It's MatchingDonors.com. MatchingDonors.com links organ donors with people in need of kidney and other transplants. In the U.S., 19 people die each day waiting for an organ transplant, most of them for kidneys. If you've ever considered becoming a living organ donor, or if you're someone in need of an organ transplant, visit MatchingDonors.com, home of the greatest gift of all, the gift of life, MatchingDonors.com.
You want a piece of me?
You want a piece of me?
You want a piece of me?
They're not movie tough guys, just ordinary people doing something extraordinary. They're all signed up on MatchingDonors.com, willing to donate their kidney to anyone who needs it. In the U.S., 19 people die each day waiting for an organ transplant, most of them for kidneys. MatchingDonors.com improves those odds by finding living altruistic donors for patients desperately needing transplants. Go to MatchingDonors.com and meet some extraordinary people. That's MatchingDonors.com.
It's Jim Villanucci.
Mike, you're on KXNT. Hello.
You were a little hard to get in the beginning. But
Uh-huh.
I gotta tell you, as time has gone by, I really enjoy your show.
Thanks, man.
It's actually as good as any show that's out there. I mean, it's top notch, triple A.
Well, I appreciate that.
Weekdays 3 to 6 on News Radio 100.5 KXNT.
Home Depot.
You're listening to Real Estate Live with Dustin DeHart of Nova Home Loans on News Radio 100.5 KXNT.
All right, welcome back. Real Estate Live, News Radio 100.5 KXNT. Dustin DeHart here with Nova Home Loans. Again, still joining me live in the studio. Two good friends of mine. First off, Dennis Schultz from Nova Home Loans and Mark Bowman from 048 Realty. Hello. Let's just get Manny back on the phone. Manny Hernandez. Thanks, Mark. From Credit Services, home is on the horizons from Nova Home Loans. Manny, all right, we talked about Credit Services. Now let's do a little Credit 101, okay? I know we've got a lot of people that hear things and have no idea if it's true or not. One thing I want to ask you first, and I know Mark's got a question for you and Dennis, is let's talk about the fact that people freak out when they get a mortgage inquiry, right? I mean, isn't that the biggest hot topic? I mean, people, oh my gosh, don't pull my credit. So, but Manny, I mean, it's kind of counterintuitive. If you're shopping around for the best rate and the lender's got to pull your credit, well, that doesn't make any sense. So explain how this works. And I'll let you go because I'll confuse people. But the first inquiry, more or less, is the one that stings you. And then you have a certain grace period, right?
There is. And it depends on the credit bureau as far as how long that grace period is going to last.
Right. Okay. So 30 days is TransUnion, is that right? Or is that the 45-day one?
No, TransUnion is actually going to allow that inquiry to be omitted from the FICO score completely for a period of 45 days.
Okay.
Experian and Equifax will omit that inquiry completely for a period of 30 days.
So let's just say 30 days, guys. So what we're saying here is let's say they went to Nova Home Loans, Manny. I pulled their credit. That's the initial inquiry, right? So that's the one that's going to affect their score. It's a mortgage pull. It's not really going to affect it much at all.
How much
right?
does it affect it?
There's no way to completely answer that, right, Manny? But it'd be not much.
You can't provide specifics, but I can tell you per Fair Isaac, and you can actually go to the website myfico.com to verify what I'm stating, and there's an education piece on that website that you could actually go in and research inquiries. But the average impact to a credit report is going to be anywhere from 2 to 5 points after that grace period has expired.
That's it. Okay, so the grace period, what we're talking about is, I mean, I pulled the credit, so they've got my good faith estimate. Now they want to go to some other lenders who go, well, man, I need to pull your credit. Also, that's where people freak out. Well, if they do it within that 30 days, let's say 4 or 5 mortgage companies pull their credit, they're going to group that as one inquiry. Do I have that right?
Not necessarily.
See, that's why
how it works is the way that the score was designed is it was designed to be a fair score, so it wants to allow consumers the opportunity to rate shop to obtain the best interest rate. So after that grace period has expired, 30 to 45 days, depending on the bureau, the mortgage inquiries or auto inquiries, those are the only two industries that are going to be impacted by the bundling of the inquiries that we have, will only count as a one-time hit. So they'll bundle them into a 14-day window. So all mortgage inquiries that occur within 2 weeks of one another are going to actually count as a one-time hit only to that score.
Okay, clean me up a little bit. So I was giving bad information, Manny. Thanks a lot. All right, so what are some other things, guys? Mark, I know you were interested in that website that Manny gave out because, man, talk about this. Is it Experian or Equifax that's doing all the shenanigans with our data?
Experian is the one that's going to be selling the trigger program.
Okay, so explain really quickly what is a trigger lead?
A trigger lead is generated when a consumer applies for a home loan. And what happens is once that hard inquiry posts to the credit file, Experian will actually send out notifications to all competing mortgage companies, all lenders, without the consumer's knowledge. Very specific information, in my opinion, that's being sold to competing mortgage companies
without any of our knowledge, right? I mean, we didn't agree to this.
No, it's not something that's done at the lender level. It's something that Experian does. It's a product that they offer that's called mortgage triggers, or they do sell that information to the collection agencies now. So it's just called basically trigger product. So we have no control over it. All we have done is pulled credit within a period of 24 hours, the borrower's name, contact information. When I say contact information, it's going to be name, address, phone number if it's not listed on the do not call registry, along with a lot of specific information regarding the credit report that's being sent out electronically to these, hundreds of mortgage companies or whomever has signed up and who Experian feels has permissible purpose to view that consumer's information.
Any way to opt out of that?
The best way is to go to the optoutprescreen.com. That's the website where you could actually go, sign up, and it will have your information omitted from any sort of trigger product that would be generated by Experian or any other credit bureau at this point. Although Equifax, I do not believe, participates in the program. TransUnion does to a limited extent, but it really is Experian who is out there promoting and pushing the trigger product to, again, other mortgage companies and collection agencies at this point.
Okay, if somebody right now is trying to clean up their credit, and Mark, listen to this. If they, go, hey, you know what? I'm going to do the right thing, Mark. I'm going to go pay off all my collections. Now, one would lead to believe that would be a good thing, right, Manny? But that could hurt them, correct?
Absolutely. So with the current FICO models that we have in place now, again, there have been several enhancements that have been done by Fair Isaac in the scoring models. However, the versions that we use that have been accepted by Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, if that collection agency had not reported that information, let's say over 1 year, 2 years, depending on the credit file, if that account was paid in full, it would actually bring that debt current and would have a negative impact on the FICO
even
score.
with a zero balance.
With a zero balance.
That's
absolutely.
So recent activity, basically.
Yeah.
Right.
That makes no sense, man.
Absolutely not. It does not to me, and it doesn't to anyone that I've spoken to. I can tell you in the latest scoring models that they have, they've actually changed the algorithm to where that would not count as a negative by paying off a collection account. However,
the problem is what?
Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac haven't adopted it, and I don't expect them to. We're still working on models from 2004 and 2005. And there have been 2 enhancements since then.
Basically, we're working on Windows 1 right now.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. I was like, there's like
Holy
Windows
moly.
updates since then.
So, so what are some basic things people need to know as far as credit? So, it was like a Durag after 24 months, that's not affecting you so much, right?
It is having an impact. It's just not as significant. So basically, the algorithm was designed to be a fair score, a forgiving score. So as that date of incident is how we refer to it. When I say date of incident, I mean late payment, collection account, foreclosure, short sale, etc. As that ages, the impact that it's going to have to your FICO score is going to reduce. And after a period of 24 months is really when you're going to start to see that impact minimize dramatically.
Right.
So it does take 24 months, and keep in mind that 24-month window is also broken down into 6-month increments. So every 6 months for that first 2 years, after that 6-month period, 12, 18, etc., the impact is going to drop. It's not going to be as significant as it was when it first reported to the bureaus.
So Dustin asked about paying off collections. What about paying off your credit card completely? Is that, if you're trying to raise your score, is that something that's going to help, or is it okay to leave a little bit of a balance on there?
You do want to leave a little bit of the balance on your credit card every single month. And it's important to know that Fair Isaac looks at the way you repay and handle your revolving debt very closely, so much so that it almost has as much of the same impact as it does as your pay history. So what I mean by that is the actual algorithm is broken up to 35% of your score is based on the way you've been able to repay debt in the past. 30% of your score is based on how much you've been using on your revolving debt and how you manage and maintain your revolving credit cards. So they do want to see some sort of activity. So we always recommend to consumers to make sure to leave a small balance on your credit cards from month to month. You don't want to max out your credit cards, of course. But you definitely don't want to also pay them off in full. So, well, you don't want to pay them off in full prior to your statement date is how I should phrase that. Sorry.
So let a billing cycle every 30 days show something, right?
Right.
Under 25%, is that the normal standard that we're looking for, or is it less than that?
Ideally, in a perfect world, your actual balance would always, your actual balance on all your revolving debt would be under 15% of your overall available credit.
So FICO is basically a predictor of the future, Manny, right? So all of these things, guys, that you've done. So, like, listen, if you got a 780 credit score, Manny, and you've been humming along for 20 years and not one thing has ever been wrong with your credit, and all of a sudden you have a late payment, it's going to affect your credit score a lot more than somebody that's had late payments throughout the years, right? Because you've shocked that system. All of a sudden they're going, oh my gosh, what is going on? This guy is late, so it's predicting that you're probably going to be late in the future, so that 780 could turn into a 600 very quickly.
Right, absolutely. And when that initial impact, when that first late payment reports, that's when you're going to see the most dramatic impact of the FICO score. After that, it's already built into the scoring algorithm. They already know what scorecard you fall into, and your score is already going to be reduced if you are late again. So it's not going to be as dramatic of an impact as it would if you've had stellar credit, and then all of a sudden out of the blue, you do have a 30-day late payment report on your credit file.
So we're not talking 15 days late, 10 days late. Question. It's 30 days.
It's one calendar month of 31 days. That's where you get your late, right, Manny?
Right, exactly.
So really quick, because we got you for a couple more minutes. Give people some tips. How is there a good website they can go to get a free credit report, and what should they look for?
If the intent is not to know what your score is, you just want to see what your credit file looks like, you could always go to annualcreditreport.com.
Okay.
That's where it's a website that was designed by all 3 credit bureaus after the Federal Trade Commission came out and said, look, as a result of the data and all the inaccuracies that you have in your credit file, you now are required to provide one free copy of your credit report to every consumer in the U.S. once a year. And where you can obtain a copy of that credit report would be the annualcreditreport.com website. Now, if you're curious as to what your FICO score is, which would be the score that most auto dealerships are using, also the mortgage industry, the score that they'd be looking at, you could always go to myfico.com and pull your credit there. You are able to obtain all 3 credit bureaus, and all 3 credit bureaus are participating at this point, and offering the FICO score that Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac have accepted.
So that's not a Credit Karma one, though, right?
Can you soft pull that, or is it always a hard pull when you do that?
It's actually always a soft pull. Any consumer direct credit file would be a soft inquiry to the credit report.
Okay.
And we've talked a little bit, or we've used the term soft pull and hard pull. I'm not sure if you mentioned it on your show before, Dustin, but I'm sorry?
No, I haven't, so please do.
Oh, no, we now have the ability, and it's important for consumers to know that we can actually, at Nova Home Loans, when we pull your credit, as we identify the impact of a hard inquiry is going to be anywhere from 2 to 5 points. We actually were approved, and again, we were the only lender that has been approved at a national level that can pull Experian and TransUnion. So we can pull a 2-bureau credit report as a soft inquiry, which would mean that inquiry that we post to your credit file is not going to have a negative impact on your FICO score in any way, shape, or form. So we would be able to pull a 2-bureau report, soft inquiry, not have a negative impact to your FICO score, would prevent your data from being sold to other companies, and also be able to work with the consumers directly on helping them improve their credit report and provide analysis on that credit file up until the point to where we know we actually have a qualifying credit report. At that point, that's when we would actually pull the hard inquiry 3-bureau credit report. However, during the loan process, we would always recommend to consumers to go to optoutprescreen.com while we're working with consumers and before we pull that hard inquiry.
And you only have to do that one time and you're done for opting out.
Correct. And I believe it lasts for a period of 5 years, if I remember correctly.
Manny, we appreciate you calling in the show so much. Awesome. You are the man. We appreciate everything you do for our company, everything you do for our customers. And, I don't appreciate your fantasy draft that you screwed up. But other than that, you're the man. I'm just kidding. Thank you so much, Manny. I'm hoping you can call in again soon. Great information today, buddy.
Thanks for having me. We'll
enjoy your day. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. You have no excuses now. If you think your credit's suffering a little bit, we have the ability to get you financing.
Don't wait.
Take a while, but we'll do it. 733-KXNT. If you want to reach the studio, we got to cut to a break. You got us for 10 more minutes. If you want to reach us in the office, you want to get down to business, 577-2600. We'll be back after this. You're listening to Real Estate Live here at News Radio 100.5 KXNT.
Get into your new home faster with the help of Linear Title Las Vegas. Linear's innovative technology and superior customer service add value to every purchase, short sale, and REO transaction. From clearing title to coordinating closings, they streamline the closing process with their industry-leading cost savings, accuracy, and turnaround times. Learn more about how they can help you quickly get into your new home. Call them at 702-459-1057 to speak to one of their friendly associates, or visit their website at lineartitle.com. Linear Title and Closing, helping you make the right move since 2005.
If you need to sell your house,
talk to Aaron Taylor.
You want to sell it fast and get the most cash, talk to Aaron Taylor,
the real estate guy.
The time to do a short sale is now. Aaron Taylor here, the real estate guy. Here are a few urgent reasons why you should short sell your home today. This may be the last year the banks are releasing you of the deficiency balance. Banks are getting tighter and tighter, starting to require sellers to contribute money. Also, it could be the last year to receive relocation money, up to $10,000. This may be the last year we guarantee cash back. And lastly, we provide the best attorneys in the state of Nevada, all at no cost to you. We have completed thousands of short sales with over 21 years of experience. Go to AaronTaylorTheRealEstateGuy.com and check out our reviews. Call today, 702-310-6683. That's 702-310-MOVE. 702-310-6683. 048 Realty. Call for details.
talk to Aaron Taylor,
the real estate guy.
Business owners, did you know that summer is a great time to hire the best people? With your competitors on vacation, there's less competition for quality candidates. But posting your job in one place isn't enough to find them. And when you're short-staffed, there's no time to deal with the dozens of different job sites. Until now. Thanks to ZipRecruiter.com, you can post to 100-plus job sites with a single click. Just post once, and within 24 hours, watch your candidates roll in to ZipRecruiter's easy-to-use interface. Plus, be instantly matched to candidates from over 4 million resumes. ZipRecruiter has been used by over 400,000 businesses, and you can try it right now for free. Try ZipRecruiter and get your perfect candidate this summer before they go to somebody else. Today, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/talkradio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/talkradio. Again, ZipRecruiter.com/talkradio.
Hey, Las Vegas, Jonathan Scott inviting you to tune in to Vegas Nonstop Saturdays 5 p.m. and win show tickets, hear great restaurant deals and comedy. Vegas Nonstop Saturdays 5 p.m. on KXNT 100.5 FM and 840 AM. Eat well and party hard.
Two powerful signals. One place for news and talk. News Radio 100.5 FM and 840 AM KXNT.
Stand by.
You're listening to Real Estate Live with Dustin DeHart of Nova Home Loans on News Radio 100.5 KXNT.
All right, welcome back to Real Estate Live. There must be some kind of way out of here. It's about 7 minutes, dude, and then I'm going to my fantasy football draft.
Booyah.
Taking Des Bryant first pick?
Maybe. I was Des Bryant's pretty darn good. Pow! Wow, that was good, huh? I hope everybody enjoyed that. Manny, I love listening to him. There's a few people in each industry that know more than everybody else, and he's definitely one of them. He's just an awesome wealth of knowledge. He helps me teach credit education, continuing education at the GLVAR. He does a 3-hour class. Any real estate agents listening, if you ever get an email about credit financing and the struggles with real estate transactions, make sure to sign up for that. We'll have a few next year. I think we have one coming up in November, so we'll announce
at
that.
Gavlar.
Yep. He did a great class for us yesterday with about 35 agents, I think.
A little mixer.
Yeah, we had some good food, some drinks
at the Republic.
That was beautiful.
Talked about credit. Everybody, one way or the other, is affected by credit. If you're buying a house or not. Credit's a big deal, and it gets very personal to people.
Houses, cars, any big ticket item.
And people take pride on keeping their credit score where it needs to be, and
luckily, we have an answer for any questions or scenarios, and that's a huge part.
Absolutely. I mean, and it helps us with our day-to-day.
Just to be able to help somebody at no charge is
it's phenomenal.
The amount of people that call in that hadn't called us first, there's a large volume of people that said, we wish we would have called you first, guys.
They
because
said I had no shot. And
they didn't have any. They sent me to a company.
They did with the company they were with, but now they called us. Now they have a shot.
Nice.
So don't wait. Call us right away. We'll get the macho combo on you. We'll run your credit. We'll do a soft pull.
You like soft pull.
Soft pull.
Mark likes hard pull.
Finishing off.
Hey, keep it clean, Mark. Stop it. What else did we learn today? We had a appraiser in. Great guy, Brett Stone. Great name. Got some information on why appraisals are coming in low. I mean, the bottom line, here's why it comes in low.
It's because
there's not enough comps to support the value.
Exactly. It's that simple.
I thought he was gonna,
have something
split an atom for us,
say.
but it didn't happen.
I asked him what the trends were. Like, what did he see? He said a stable market in the next 12 to 24
It really
months.
is a stable market. It's fair market right now. It's a great time to sell right now, right, Mark? And it's a great time to buy. And that's normally not the case in real estate. And
the rates are low.
Rates are low.
Well, that's a double bonus. It's a good time to sell because people have a little bit of equity, right? So they're going to make some money. And then, of course, the houses are affordable. So people can buy paying the same amount of money they would in rent or possibly less. And that's that's what makes it a great market that we're in right now. And I'm very thankful that we have our team, the Aaron Taylor team, our credit services team, Dustin, and our team. I mean, we're lucky to be in this position now so we can handle the people that are coming into our office and stuff. So
yeah, you guys know better than I, but I keep hearing the rates may go up soon. Is that?
I've been hearing that for about 3 years.
4 years. Yeah. So it's still there. It's the same.
Honestly, I'm a betting man. I would have not bet that rates would be this low last year at this time. There's a lot of global uncertainty going on right now. The stock market's been on a tear. It's due for a correction. That'll help rates. Oil prices are low. That helps rates. At the end of the day, the
Bank of America has 60,000 houses.
Even if the Fed's eventually going to raise their key rate, it's not going to have a disastrous effect on mortgage interest rates.
Right.
They're going to be plugging along this low for a while. So, but yeah, they could flip a switch. I mean, they're very volatile. I mean, if you're thinking about refinancing, the difference in a quarter of a point over the term of a loan, that's a big deal. So, we want to get you in now, get that mortgage tune-up done. I talked to earlier in the show, radio listener called in, did a mortgage tune-up, 6.875% rate, locked them in the low threes on a 15-year loan. Was 250 months of payments left. I took him to 180 months of payments.
Saving hundreds of thousands of dollars.
210,000 to be.
What a hero. Financial hero.
So, all right, what do we got to do now is announce the winner, the wiener.
Do we have a drum roll?
Winner. Can I get a winner?
Wait, we have another call. Do we want to
We
take
don't
this
have,
first?
well, if you think you can answer in 30 seconds.
We probably don't.
Probably can't. Who was the winner, Dennis, for $50 to Home Depot or Depot, however you want to pronounce it?
Johnette.
Johnette.
Boom.
She'll be able to use that. She has to paint and carpet.
Done.
Oh.
Johnette, you just got $50 to the that you can add that now to the $25,000 worth of repairs you need to do. We just lowered that down to $24,950. How you like that? So if you're listening, give us a call. We do have your number. We'll reach out to you as well, guys. I hope you enjoyed the show. Manny Hernandez was in the house giving a bunch of credit information. I'm so proud that we have a credit services division at Nova Home Loans. We had our good friend Mark Bowman in today. I love working with Mark. He takes so much pride in his job. Working with you as a buyer agent, it's just phenomenal. You know what I mean? And it just makes things smooth, knowing that you've done your job. I never get an appraisal that comes in low with you. You fight for your clients, almost always get them closing costs. If you've got a little bit of credit issues, Mark, that's okay, right? And we deal with that all the time.
Exactly.
Get them over to Manny, spin them around, and boom, they're out with you. Even if they don't have a lot of money for a down payment or any money, we can, hopefully use home as possible for them and get them in that house.
There's very little that can keep you from buying a home. Maybe not today, but if the desire's there's a way to do it.
Absolutely. And even Mark, listing a home. I mean, you've listed and sold hundreds and thousands of properties between you and Aaron throughout your careers. You guys do a great job marketing them, and with short sales, believe it or not, there's a few people that are still upside down that could use your services.
Well, we have a great team.
You do have a great team, and that's why I'm proud to have you guys on the radio with me. It's a great team with Nova Home Loans and you guys. So. And little Poppy. With that Mariners jersey.
I look a lot better this week than I don't have an Angels jersey.
I forgot to give out the website a lot. You got to remind me next time. How many viewers did we have?
I'm
10?
not sure.
That's all right.
But they could access it 24/7. So,
guys, that's why we do this show. Believe it or not, every Saturday, from 11 to 2. Fuck. Whoa. And we'll be back next Saturday. If you want to reach us in the office, get that free mortgage tune-up, or you want to work with 048 Realty, Mark Bowman, and AA Ron, the real estate guy, for whatever your needs are, 577-2600. Thanks for listening to Real Estate Live.
Thanks, guys.
If you need to sell your house,
talk to Aaron Taylor.
The most experience around.
Talk to Aaron Taylor.
You want to sell it fast and get the most cash. Talk to Aaron Taylor,
the real estate guy.
Talk to Aaron Taylor.
Call 310-MOVE.
Talk to Aaron Taylor.
Call 310-MOVE.
It takes a whole lot more than a fancy yard sign. If you want to sell your house, call the real estate guy. Talk to Aaron Taylor.
310-MOVE.
When you think of the reasons people end up in the ER, you probably wouldn't think of West Nile virus from mosquitoes, asthma attacks from cockroaches,